For 86 years, it has stood proud, a rare jewel on 10 acres of land in the borough of New York City called the Bronx. A building that has hosted classic events and legendary moments has established itself as a virtual highlight reel of history, known as the Stadium. With construction beginning May 5, 1922, Yankee Stadium was built in a remarkable 280 working days, $2.5 million. In a time before luxury boxes and enhanced fan experiences, this stadium was baseball's first three-tiered facility. Its trademark, a copper frieze rimming the roofline. The planned capacity, an astounding 70,000 fans. In 1933, 11 years after it hosted opening games against the Red Sox, the first All-Star game was played at Comiskey Park in Chicago. In that game, none other than Babe Ruth himself. It's a two-run homer, leading the American League to its first victory, 4-2. A summer night, 1938, the stadium enters boxing history. Joe Louis knocks out Max Schmeling, 2 minutes, 4 seconds, first round, the heavyweight championship. That year, the All-Star game was held at Crossley Field, Cincinnati. A simple sacrifice by Leo DeRocha turns into a wild tripper, aided by Thorne from third baseman Jimmy Fox and outfielder Joe DiMaggio. Key win for the National League. 1946, lights added to the famous roofline. At Fenway Park, Boston's splendid splinter Ted Williams delights the hometown fans with 4 hits, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs, including this homer on Rip Sewell's famous Ephus pitch. 1959 brought the first electronic message board in Major League Baseball to Yankee Stadium. That summer, the All-Star game played twice. Game 1 in Pittsburgh. Hall of Fame pitcher Don Drysdale made of what would be the first of 8 starts in an All-Star game and was the MVP. A few days later, Los Angeles. Yogi Berra's 2-run homer puts the American League on top. Yankee Stadium was blessed in 1965 when Pope Paul VI held the first papal mass in North America on the diamond. 65 All-Star game was in Minnesota. It was graced with a line of stars: Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Willie Stark, Murray Wills, Roberto Clemente, Frank Robinson. Hard-fought National League 6-5 win. They took the series lead. 1973, the city of New York purchased the Grand Ballpark and commenced a 2-year renovation project. This forced the Yankees to share the next 2 years at Shea Stadium, home of the National League Mets. Also in that year, the All-Star Game celebrated its 40th anniversary, the final All-Star appearance of Willie Mays. During his unsurpassed 24 All-Star Game appearances, Mays hit .307, 23 hits, 3 home runs. It was August 16, 2006, groundbreaking ceremonies in New Yankee Stadium right across the street. The 77th All-Star Game in Pittsburgh. Mariano Rivera seals a group from behind the American League victory, tying him with Dennis Eckersley most saves all-time career. Tonight, this building is its planet for football. Fans across the world tip their caps for what has been called the Cathedral of Baseball. The 2008 All-Star Game from Yankee Stadium is baseball fans around the world and all the ships at sea. We welcome you to Yankee Stadium in New York, the 79th All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium, the home of the Yankees, the stadium that will be moved across the street at the end of this year. Yes, there are lots of names that you're going to hear about tonight, some of whom have played here, who have passed on. These who are here to celebrate not only the ball game tonight, but the memories of those who have played here before, because it is both about them and about the stadium in which they play tonight. Bomber making its appearance, flying over Yankee Stadium in the city of New York.
Who's not here tonight?
Was performing the national anthem.
I'll tell you what, for me, Gary, there's no other shortstop in all of baseball playing at his level right now.
He'll be followed in the lineup by the man who drew the most votes for anyone in the National League as voted on by the fans, and that is Chase Utley. Utley with that .291 average. Then you got Lance Berkman, Albert Pujols, Chipper Jones, Matt Holliday, Ryan Braun, Fukudomi, and Giovanni Soto, the first rookie catcher to start an all-star game for the National League ever.
Let's take a look defensively at the American League. You've got Manny being Manny. Manning left field for the American League. We move over to center field. An instant hero after the home run derby last night, Josh Hamilton from the Texas Rangers. Of course, Ichiro. I mean, this guy is a perennial all-star, and deservedly so. All of his Gold Gloves out there in right field. Move into third base. Alex Rodriguez, the former Gold Glove winning shortstop, of course plays third for the New York Yankees because the captain is still at shortstop for the Yankees, Derek Jeter. And what a thrill it is for him to be here tonight. Now, those were the Yankees on the left side. Let's go to the right side. We've got Dustin Pedroia. Boy, what a defensive player he has turned into. Also providing some offense over at first base. Last year's Gold Glove Award winner for the American League. You got Kevin Youkilis, as we heard earlier tonight. And behind the plate, a former #1 pick overall, Joe Mauer, former batting title champion, just a tremendous, tremendous player for the Minnesota Twins.
And on the mound, it is always an honor each year for the guy who gets to go out there and be the starter in the All-Star game. It's Cliff Lee.
Well, it was real easy. When Terry Francona said making that decision, he said he's been the best pitcher in baseball for the American League the first half. And take a look at that, over 5-to-1, the ratio between walks and strikeouts. He's become a power pitcher.
Two 29-year-olds will be making the start for the American and National Leagues from the Cleveland Indians. Ready to go with it, second in ERA, Cliff Lee. First pitch, flash bulbs. Watch him go off here as we get set to start this game. And we're underway with a foul ball straight back off the bat of Ramirez. What a season he is having with the Florida Marlins. Their shortstop, 9th in average, tied for 4th in homers, 1st in runs, and 6th in stolen bases. The 0-1 delivery to him. That will be a strike called on the outside corner. It is 0-2. Generally in these all-star games, the hitters come to hit and the pitchers come to throw strikes. So you tend to get guys swinging early, as you saw on the first pitch here. Lee's delivery will be taken up high for a ball, and it'll go to 1-2 on Ramirez. Already the fans have started the Derek Jeter chant. He's out at shortstop. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Swung on and missed. Pitched down and away from Lee. Lee's got 106 strikeouts in 124 innings, and he gets one here.
Well, you got to give him a lot of credit, but also I don't know if Hanley Ramirez could get the glare out of his eyes from all of those flashbulbs that went off on that first pitch. He's not going to walk you. You're going to have to swing it to beat Cliff Lee these first 2 innings.
Now Chase Utley hitting in the #2 spot, making his 3rd All-Star appearance, 3rd straight. As we said, the leading vote getter, over 3,800,000 votes for Utley. See the numbers that he has put up in the first half. He's the first National League second baseman to start 3 straight years since Craig Biggio did it in 4 straight, 1995 through 98. And he will foul that one off. And Lee coming in with strikes. The count at 0-2. The American League has won 10 consecutive games. They haven't lost in 11. There was a tie in the middle of those 10 wins in a game played in Milwaukee when the teams ran out of players. That pitch will be just a little bit down low, and a 1-2 count.
As we know, Alex Rodriguez, the overall leading vote getter in the All-Star game this year, but the leading vote getter for the National League is standing at home plate right now.
Chase Utley has done a job for Philadelphia in a battle with the Mets for first place in the National League East. Those 2 teams are going to have a great second half fight, and Utley will be right in the middle of that. Phillies need him to be healthy. Lee's delivery's on the inside corner. Cliff Lee, 2 strikeouts, 2 faced.
Talk about command of the fastball. We have seen it thus far on the first 2 at-bats. Look at the inside corner. Look at the glove of Mauer, not having to move at all. An easy call for home plate umpire Darrell Cousins.
Darrell Cousins, senior umpire, crew chief. He'll like those pitches to be right there. all night long. It'll make the All-Star game a treat and easy. Here's Lance Berkman standing in. Berkman, huge offensive numbers at the start of the season, and they have remained that way into the first half as he has been a hot hitter. It is his 5th appearance, his 2nd start in an All-Star game, and among the leaders in all of those categories, first in slugging. And he will take that one in the air to right center field. It is playable. Players have to make sure they don't run into one another. Josh Hamilton comes away with it. Cliff Lee has a 1-2-3 inning. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the home American League when we come back to Yankee Stadium. 9th from the Red Sox.
Only a .310 average, but take a look at those 95 RBIs already for Josh Hamilton.
Ben Sheets on the mound will be making the start as Ichiro is ready to step in.
He seems to be in a hurry to throw this first pitch to Ichiro. Most people aren't in that big of a hurry to get this pitch thrown.
His desire is granted, and the pitch is taken down low for a ball.
Take a look at the numbers there. 18 starts, 10 wins for the Milwaukee Brewers, who of course added CC Sabathia.
And Ichiro takes it to right field. He just missed on that one. That'll be hauled in. Holiday out there to get it. And one down. Rest of the descent.
Well, let's take a look out in left field. He couldn't play third base, had trouble there. They move him to the outfield. I would say it worked for Ryan Braun. You got Fukudome. He can play anywhere in the outfield. Out there in center for the National League. Matt Holliday over there in right field. He says he loves it over there because there's not a whole lot of room to roam.
We were talking about the great ovation for Derek Jeter. He stands in, batting second. Jeter with a .287 average, 5 homers, 42 RBIs. Derek, one of the veterans. He and A-Rod from the Yankees have been here before. Jeter making his 9th All-Star appearance and his 4th as a starter in the Midsummer Classic, and a great number in All-Star games. He's a .500 hitter, 8 for 16, a double home run, and 3 RBIs, and a lot of pictures taken home by the Yankee fans and even Mets fans taking his picture. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Sheets' delivery is taken for a strike inside corner, 1-2.
I love what manager Terry Francona said about Jeter hitting second. He said, in this arena, he has deserved it. He had another option. He could have gone with his second baseman and second hitter, Dustin Pedroia.
Very respectful, Francona, of the game being played here. It was clearly the reason he hit Jeter there, and clearly the reason Francona decided Mariano Rivera would finish.
And he was showing us that respect before the game when Joe Girardi, as we take a look at all the flash balls just on a check swing, but Francona would not sit in Joe Girardi's chair. He sat on the couch with the rest of us.
Yep. The delivery by Sheets, muscle to second base. Short hop, can't be played by Utley. Jeter will have a base hit. Jeter keeps his all-star numbers hot.
Let's finish the defense for the National League. Chipper Jones down there at third base. He's been there many, many times for the National League. Hanley Ramirez, former property of the Boston Red Sox. Now at shortstop, he may be there for a while. Utley, who could be the MVP of the National League, at second. Of course, over at first base, Lance Berkman with that great first half for the Astros. Behind the plate, Giovanni Soto.
And at the plate, Josh Hamilton. Jeter with that base hit goes over 500 now for his all-star average. We'll see if Hamilton's got any strength left after the home run derby last night, as he pounded out 35 of them. Jeter's going to steal. Soto can't get him. Derek Jeter with a stolen base, as Sheets never looked over to hold him.
There's a little bit more at stake tonight than what we've seen in the past. Derek Jeter made up his mind. He was going to take off, try to get into scoring position for the guy that put on the show last night at that home run derby, Mr. Hamilton.
Mr. RBI swings and misses on that one. So that didn't take long as Sheets gets a strikeout. And here comes A-Rod.
Ben Sheets right off the bat, breaking out Uncle Charlie. Outstanding curveball. He was able to retire Josh Hamilton on.
Derek Jeter's first All-Star stolen base has put him out there at second, as the American League will look to the Yankees to try and get him on top. 8th in average, tied for 5th in home runs, 2nd in slugging. A-Rod will take the pitch outside for a ball, making the start at third base in this ball game. The 12th All-Star game he has appeared in, the 11th as a starter. 1-0 count, 2 down. And a fastball right there.
How about the white shoes for Alex Rodriguez? Something we've seen the last several All-Star games. The reason for that? You know, he grew up a Met fan. And you remember years ago with Gary Carter and Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden going with the white shoes? That's why he's doing it.
I don't think a lot of Yankee fans know that. I don't think he's made that real public about that being the reason.
He's not always been politically correct.
He doesn't need any more discussion in the newspaper. Yeah. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Jeter's on at second base. Sheets delivery to him. That one's going to be popped up off the end of the bat. A great location on that pitch. Ramirez gets out of the way. Look out. Ooh. Tripping was Giovanni Soto on some of the stuff that's in that on-deck circle. Used to be a rule to get that out of there, and the rule ought to be instituted again. And that's what Bat Boy's doing right now, is getting rid of it. Pujols, Jones, and Matt Holliday will be coming up after 1 no score.
Left center field gap all the way over to right center field. You see a lot of blue base hits drop in front of center fielders because of all the ground they have to cover. And then, of course, it's legendary, the short porch out there in right field.
And amazingly, it used to be even further to hit the ball in left and center. Always the short porch at 314 down the right side, which was always said to favor the left-handers like Ruth and Gary. We go to the second inning, and Albert Pujols will take it for a strike. Pujols from the St. Louis Cardinals, making his 7th appearance. All have been as a starter. All-star numbers, 4 for 11 with 3 RBIs. He is the designated hitter in this game.
Well, I think he's the most feared hitter in all of the National League.
Well, the way pitchers work to him, it looks that way. Cliff Lee delivers to him away as Pujols. This season, 47% of pitches thrown to him have been called balls. That is the top percentage in the league. Pitchers do not want to get close to that strike zone and that big power bat.
How about 61 walks the first half of the year? 22, Gary, of those intentional.
He is an amazing ball player. One of the reasons the Cardinals have had a very surprising first half. They are in the race in their division. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cliff Lee struck out 2 in the first inning. Started the windup, wants to regroup. Only 30 strikeouts for Albert Pujols with all that power. He hits the ball hard. A-Rod, nice pick. White shoes and all. Nice play.
That really was, Gary. When you get a big man that hits it with top spin like this and you get an in-between hop, you can see him. He kind of pulled his face out of the way. He pulled his right arm back, but he had the glove there and the soft hand. This play right here is a lot like the plays you've got to make at shortstop. You're so deep, you've got some range to cover. He came up with it and a nice throw.
And, of course, was a shortstop. That one's going to be a base hit by Chipper Jones. He went after the first pitch, and there's the first hit for the National League. So Chipper Jones, in his 6th appearance at an All-Star game and 4th as a starter, is on with a 1-out single.
Well, I think a lot of Chipper Jones is in the National League what Derek Jeter has been to the American League. 14 straight years he went to the postseason. This guy is just simply a winner.
Now Matt Holliday will stand in. He's making the start in right field in this ball game. Left-hander's pitch to him is a slow chopper down to first. Kevin Youkilis will get over there and put the tag on. It will move Jones down to second base, but there are now 2 away. They are not taking much time in waiting on pitches. Always an honor to do the All-Star game as an umpire. Darrell Cousins, a veteran, his 3rd All-Star game. Ed Rapuano's got his 2nd. Hallion's at his 2nd. Wagner at his 1st, as is Greg Gibson and Phil Cuzzy. They are all, those bottom 3, first All-Star games they have worked in.
Well, not only Darryl Cousins with those All-Star games you mentioned, but 5 division series, 5 league championships, and he has been an umpire for 3 World Series during his 30-year career.
And that's why he is a crew chief and is the crew chief here. 2 down and a runner on at second base. That'll be fouled back. Braun getting a shot, and like the rest of the hitters, is going after that first pitch. For Ryan Braun, the numbers he has put up for the Brew Crew, they're going to make a run at their division in the second half. Tied for 4th in homers, 8th in RBIs, and extra base hits. He is also 4th in that department.
This guy loves the big moments, as this is.
His first All-Star game. Braun swinging through Cliff Lee's delivery, and a 2-strike count.
Well, in the first CC Sabathia start for the Milwaukee Brewers, Braun in his first at-bat hit a 3-run homer.
CC hit a home run. How about that?
He did.
In getting a win. 7 straight first pitch strikes thrown by Lee, and he gets him to go after one and has 3 strikeouts. What a performance as he completes his 2 innings of work here. He threw only 20 pitches, didn't walk anybody, gave up 1 hit and struck out 3. Cliff Lee will become a spectator. Yankee Stadium for the 79th All-Star game. Manny Ramirez coming up. 11 Dominican-born players this season. That is the most in All-Star game history.
Well, they broke their own record back in 05 and 06 when the Dominican Republic had 10 players in the All-Star.
Manny gets his usual round of boos here at Yankee Stadium. He's participating in the All-Star game for the 11th straight season. That is the longest current streak for any player. He had a bit of a drought 3 weeks ago when the bat went quiet on him. He actually sat out a couple of games and also DH'd in some games with David Ortiz of the Red Sox, their usual DH, injured. But he said he has found the cut again. He feels comfortable. The upper body wasn't agreeing with the lower body. Now he's got them together. That pitch will be taken outside, and a 2-0 count on Ramirez.
Look at those numbers. This has to almost feel like a home game for Manny Ramirez, who went to high school just, what, blocks away from here?
Grew up here in the Bronx. 2-0 delivery on the way from Sheets, and that will be down the right field side towards that short porch. It is curving, and it is foul, and not by much. Those are the kind of balls historically hit here at Yankee Stadium that off the bat you just go, well, that's going to be caught or it's foul ball, and they end up being a dinger.
Hoping, wishing. Uh-oh. Tell you what, though, he's prepared, is he not?
And he's got a Boston uniform jersey on. Holy cow, and he's still alive.
Put the phone down. Get ready.
2-1 delivery, another one shot up into the upper side. How does Manny do it? This year when he hit his 500th home run, he did it in Baltimore, and during the game in left field when he was playing, he made a catch in left field, running to the wall. He climbed the wall with his feet and high-fived a kid in the stands. The kid had on a Red Sox hat in Baltimore. How do things like that happen?
Well, they don't, but they do with Manny.
That's just Manny being Manny, right?
And I love what Terry Francona said about it. You know, we hope that the distractions do not overweigh the production. And they don't.
And he has to manage that day in, day out. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and another one fouled off as Manny's trying to line up here on Ben Sheets, who's firing some good fastballs.
He is, 96 miles an hour, and I just stopped to think. I mean, these guys can catch up to 96. Cliff Lee was only throwing 90, 91, but the difference is with all of the ceremony before the game, Gary, what's it been? 2.5, 3 hours since batting practice? They're a little tardy.
Yeah, long time. Pitchers have the advantage in that department. 2-2 delivery by Sheets, and Ramirez is gone. Had a little movement on that one down and away. 2 Ks for Sheets.
Yes, he did. Check the pass list if you're on the American League team, because Uncle Charlie is on it tonight for Ben Sheets. Look at the tight rotation on that good, hard curveball, picking up his 2nd strikeout of the night. That's already more than they had all of last year, the whole staff for the National League.
Now here's Milton Bradley, another comeback story in 2008. Bradley is the designated hitter in this game. It's his first All-Star game. He is in for David Ortiz as a starter. David Ortiz is injured with the Red Sox. He was the DH voted to play, but not available to play. There he is, obviously here. He did not want to miss the game, but he can't play. He's not back in the lineup yet. Bradley fouls it off. Bradley, like Hamilton, but for Hamilton, Milt Bradley might be the comeback story of the first half of the 08 season. But not when you got what Josh Hamilton has done. 2-1 delivery to him's away, 3-1.
How about the nickname tagged on the two of them before the season started? The Risk Brothers.
Both of them, Hamilton and Bradley. That one right in there for a strike, 3-2. Milton Bradley, as you saw, has got some pop. 19 homers, already equaling a season high for him. And he gets the first walk of the ball game. He's also got some pretty good speed. Bradley is on with one away here in the second inning.
You know, you think about Hamilton, his problems off the field. Well, for Milton Bradley last year, that was his manager with the Padres, Bud Black. He had a temper tantrum with an umpire. Bud Black came out, kind of pulled him off. He fell to the ground, and he blew out a knee and was gone for the year and gone from the Padres.
Amazing. Here is Kevin Youkilis. Takes the breaking ball outside. Kevin Youkilis, his first All-Star appearance, and is in as a starter. 6th best average, 5th in RBIs, and 5th in slugging percentage in the American League. Bradley at first base being held. The delivery is a fastball up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Sheets struggling with the strike zone right now. These pitchers know, in Sheets' case, they're only going to work 2 innings. So they don't pitch the way they normally would, Rick, in a ball game. They don't have to hold anything back knowing they're only going to go 2. They come out and fire. That'll be fouled away.
Well, and Sheets is one of those guys that can do that. 96 miles an hour we've seen. He can do better than that. He's got the great curveball. Normally he saves it till he gets 2 strikes. Youkilis is one of those hitters that's not afraid to have 2 strikes on him.
Youkilis with that unusual bat held with a hand separation as he gets ready to swing. He'll go after that one and miss 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sheets making the start and is the first Brewers pitcher to have a start in an All-Star game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Runner goes. Here's the throw and hits the runner, and that prevents it from going into center field. Utley did not get over there very quickly, and no target to throw at.
Gary, that's a great point. He was late getting there. We know that Milton Bradley's had some knee problems. His legs have been bothering. He missed a couple of games just last week. But take a look at where Utley is. He creeps in, but then he's not there in time. Had he been there, he could have been in front of the bag, maybe caught that throw and made the tag at the same time.
Interesting. Now we've had stolen bases by Jeter and Bradley in this ball game. RBI chance, Youkilis has got 63 of them on the year. Down to third, a foul ball just missed. An extra base hit down the line.
You know, to me, Gary, what that tells you is not only the importance of this game as we look at this ball just staying foul down the line, but also the respect both of these teams have for their bullpens here tonight. This could be a 5-inning ball game, and it could be over with.
Sheets trying to get Youkilis for the second out. Runner in scoring position. Bradley with good speed. The outfield very deep. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. Youkilis not sure that was a strike, but he went after it, and he is retired.
It's a tough spot for these guys. After Manny, you know you're only going to get 2 at-bats. Even though that would have been ball 4, do you come all this way? Do you represent your team in this big moment to walk? Well, that time Kevin Youkilis said no.
So he is out of there, and the 2-out RBI will be sought by Mauer as Zambrano gets ready in the bullpen. Starters are only going to work 2 innings each way. Mauer will take the pitch inside for a ball. Mauer with some outstanding numbers with the Minnesota Twins, one of their foundation players on their ball club. Great on-base percentage. He doesn't go after pitches that are out of the strike zone. Breaking ball will miss away, 2-0.
You know, a couple of years ago, he won the batting title on the very last day of the year from Derek Jeter. And I just wonder, taking that away from Jeter, how many points it cost him in the MVP. which that year Jeter lost to the Twins' first baseman, Justin Morneau.
Swung on down the line, curving to the seats and foul. Probably enough to make a difference, don't you think? There's Derek. Jeter's already been on base with a base hit and a stolen base, the Yankee captain.
He'll get at least 3 at-bats tonight, we were told.
Joe Mauer's second appearance, his first start in an All-Star game. He became the first American catcher to win that batting title Rick was talking about, and was only 23 when he did it. That's going to be taken down low, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count now with Bradley on at second base. Winning league gets home field for the World Series. Waiting on deck, Dustin Pedroia of the Red Sox. 23rd pitch of the inning right there is a strike, and the count will go full at 3-2.
Wow, a little bit generous here on the part of home plate umpire Darrell Cousins. I will tell you, I had him behind the plate a lot in the games that I took the mound. He will favor the hitter most of the time, more so than the pitcher.
Ben Sheets ready with a 3-2 delivery outside, and he walked him. So 2 strikeouts and 2 walks in the inning for Sheets. Keeps the inning alive now with 2 down and runners at first and second for Pedroia.
Starting to get a little bit tired. You see him missing with the breaking ball, and now the fastball up out of the zone. There was you say tired. All right, he's throwing 30 pitches. How could he be tired? There was a lot more adrenaline going into these pitches tonight than during the regular season.
He's already over the walks per 9 innings that he has during the regular season, the average, which is under 2. The delivery to Pedroia is on the outside corner for a strike. Dustin Pedroia getting his first chance at an All-Star game. Red Sox second baseman, the American League Rookie of the Year last year, where he hit .317, 39 doubles, 8 home runs, and 50 RBIs. It is not common to have the 2 former Rookies of the Year play in the next year's All-Star game. That doesn't happen very often. You may get one, but not both, because generally there's a sophomore slump involved. Hit in the air to center field, but it did not get it on the sweet spot. And Fukudomi is there to put it away. No runs, no hits, no errors, with a couple left on base with walks. Ben Sheets will go with a couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. He gave up only 1 hit. And we welcome you back to Yankee Stadium, a scoreless ball game as we get set for the 3rd inning. First game here, 1923, when the Yankees beat the Red Sox. Babe Ruth with the first home run to be hit here, and the house that Ruth built was on its way. It only cost $2.5 million only in today's dollars. First 3-tier sports facility in the U.S., and of course it has become a monument for baseball, largely because the Yankees have won so many championships in this ballpark, playing in this ballpark. That has made an enormous difference as to how this stadium has come to be known, because it's 26 times they've been world champions, Rick.
Gary, I just can't help but think about all of the special evenings that they've had here, from 3 popes serving mass here to all of the great old-timers games that they've had, the Lou Gehrig Day and the speech, the Babe Ruth Day. You think about the halls that you walk where Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle walk. Just all of the special moments that have been here. But when you think about this place, the first thing that comes to mind to me are championships. That's what this place has been all about. That's where the real memories have come from, starting with that man right there, of course, Babe Ruth.
We are going to get a new pitcher for the American League, as Joe Saunders of the Angels, in his first All-Star game, will be coming on to work an inning, maybe more, but at least 1 inning he hopes here, and you see tied for first in wins.
Take a look at those 12 victories. You stop and think about the Angels when the season started. They were without 18-game winners, Lackey and Escobar. That's the only reason he got into the rotation. The only reason they're in first place right now is because he's still there and doing well.
And the left-hander will face Fukudome leading it off, and he'll give it the Ichiro cut. Stepping away, trying to drive the ball. It is work, 279, 7 homers, 36 RBIs, a rookie. And obviously first all-star game. 0-1 delivery to him will be taken outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fukudome has had a real impact on the Chicago Cubs and their drive to make it to the postseason. A great first half for them. 1-1 pitch will go the other way and a foul ball.
Gary, having watched him a lot, I do know one thing. In his first at-bat, in his first all-star game, his first time to Yankee Stadium, he'd rather have a right-hander on the mound than a left-handed pitcher.
There's his manager, Lou Piniella, who is one of the coaches for the National League All-Star team. 1-2 delivery, and that will be taken down low for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, and just thinking about that, you saying that, all the success that Lou Piniella had helping Ichiro acclimate himself to playing over here, a different country, a lot of different things.
Down to first base. Euclid is there to play it. Fukudome is retired. 1 away in the 3rd inning. The Chicago Cubs team, we talk about the international flavor of baseball. Boy, I'm not sure anybody, any particular team emphasizes that more right now than do the Chicago Cubs. You look at the Dominican Republic representatives, it's Soriano, Ramirez, and Marmol. Canada's Ryan Dempster. Fukudome of Japan. Soto, Puerto Rico. Zambrano, Venezuela. Kerry Woods, the U.S. Towering fly ball by Soto, the catcher, to center field. Josh Hamilton is under it, and he's got it. And there are 2 away, and that's once through the order of the National League.
See, that's a rookie mistake there on the part of Giovanni Soto. You and I both have a lot of really nice things to say about him.
Doesn't give us a chance.
You can't get him in, kid, when you pop up on the first pitch.
Learn to take a couple of pitches. First time through the order. The pitchers have thrown virtually all strikes, only 26 pitchers to get through the order. And the delivery will be taken outside for a ball. Hanley Ramirez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Pretty good deal both ways. That's a win-win. Beckett and Lowell have certainly made a difference with the Red Sox. And Ramirez is certainly making a difference right now in Florida.
And, you know, they also got Anibal Sanchez in that deal. He threw the no-hitter for the Florida Marlins. But both teams, as you say, very happy.
That is on the outside corner from Joe Saunders for a strike, and the count will go to 2-1. As Ramirez tries to find a way on in a game, at least early on, that is being dominated by the pitchers. Cliff Lee, 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Right in front of Ichiro. That was a low liner. And with 2 away, Ramirez on here in the 3rd inning. That'll be hit number 2 for the National League. Don't forget to log on to MLB.com during tonight's All-Star game and vote for this year's All-Star MVP. The voting starts from the 6th inning through the end of the game, and you can help us select tonight's All-Star MVP and be part of history. That's at MLB.com. And always a great pleasure for us, this crew, to bring you the game wherever you may be around the world. Gary Thorne, Rick Sutcliffe, and our great cast of characters on hand here in New York. Utley swings and misses, a strikeout victim. Hanley Ramirez, the base runner's got 23 stolen bases. He is on at first. There are 2 down. He might think about taking off and trying to give Utley a chance to get an RBI.
Ramirez with 23 stolen bases. He's also got 23 home runs. Just absolutely can do it all. Tremendous instincts for the game of baseball.
Carries those gloves in his hand, as so many do, and a ground ball towards first, literally on the bag. Kevin Euclid didn't have to go anywhere, and Utley is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And the pitchers continue to dominate here. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Our All-Star game is scoreless. July 11, 1939. Game played just 7 days after the Yankees honored Lou Gehrig by holding an appreciation day celebrating his retirement from baseball. And that famous speech as he would die of ALS, Lou Gehrig disease as it's now called. Joe McCarthy, Yankee skipper, skippered the American League club, which featured 10 Yankee players. Hero of the game, Bob Feller, a 20-year-old rookie from the Cleveland Indians. He one-hit the National League over the final 3 innings. Joe D had a home run. The American League won it 3-1. And more memories being made here tonight, and we are so happy that you have joined us to be part of it. Carlos Zambrano has come out of the bullpen. There's the new Yankee Stadium as you look across the street. Construction ongoing, and a lot of it done already. Ichiro standing in. Ichiro flied out to right field, his first time up. Carlos Zambrano from the Chicago Cubs is now on the mound, and the pitch is taken away. Joe Girardi, the Yankee manager, has come on as the first base coach, and Ichiro's got himself another hit. And Holiday in right field will corral it. Suzuki is on. He is 1 for 2. That is a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. Jeter will get another great hand coming up. Ichiro ladled it.
Seen many, many times. In fact, since 2001, when he started playing for the Seattle Mariners, there's been no one with more base hits in all of baseball, and now a guy who's closing in on the all-time hit leader for the historic New York Yankees.
How about those numbers in a 14-year career? 6 200-hit seasons, the most by a major league shortstop. And he will add to those numbers as his career is not nearly done. Ichiro might take off here. He is challenging Carlos Zambrano as he gets the lead over there. Not running. Jeter, ground ball. Taylor made 2. Ramirez, Utley to first, and a double play. Ramirez had really drawn in, cheating a little bit to set up that double play at short.
Well, you can see why Zambrano is so important to the Chicago Cubs to have him back. He's one of those guys that can get a strikeout when he needs it. He's also a guy with that heavy sinker, as he did there, can get 2 outs by just throwing 1 pitch.
Carlos Zambrano getting this in, forcing him to hit on top of it. Here is Hamilton. Josh Hamilton struck out his first time up. 4th best ERA, 2.84 in the National League for Zambrano. It is his 3rd All-Star appearance.
You know, he's one of those guys, and we've seen it here with a lot of the good ones. He gets better the more pitches that he throws. He's throwing 94 now, but he's got more than that.
Shatters the bat. Utley at second base. Over to Berkman at first. Retires the side. It only took 7 pitches, even though Suzuki had a leadoff single. That's why that double play is a pitcher's best friend. We've completed 3. American National League no score. Longoria, Utley, Berkman, Morneau, Braun, and Hamilton. As Mr. October, Reggie Jackson threw out the first pitch, Derek Jeter, and then Josh Hamilton took over. And I mean, the crowd could not believe, and the players couldn't believe what they were seeing in the first round. He hit a record-breaking 28 home runs in the first round, 4 more than Bobby Abreu's old record.
You know, but for me, it wasn't the total number of homers he hit. It was the total number of distance that those homers traveled. And you're exactly right. All of the players were in awe except for his teammates. Michael Young said, "We've been watching this all year long."
And in the end, though, it would be Morneau who came on in the final and bested Hamilton 5-3 in the final round. But Hamilton had 35 total home runs. Morneau had 22, and at one point Hamilton had 13 straight, and just had everybody oohing and awing, and became a New York favorite literally overnight. Here is Lance Berkman. Berkman working here against Roy Halladay from Toronto, the new pitcher for the American League, and one of the game's great stars. Berkman takes a big cut. He flied out the center in his first at bat.
Halladay really is, and he has been. You take a look at the 11 wins, 3rd in the American League, ERA 5th, but how about 7 complete games? That's more than any other team in the major leagues.
Unheard of in this day and age. He gets him in a hurry. Holliday starts his performance with a strikeout. Joe Saunders worked an inning, gave up a hit. Cliff Lee 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. How's this for a good matchup? Holliday against Pujols.
Well, this is just one of the many that we'll enjoy tonight.
Albert Pujols grounded out his first time up. Holliday's pitch to him will be fouled off at the plate.
Tell you what, talking to Derek Jeter before last year's All-Star game, he said the toughest pitcher in baseball for him to face is the guy he's standing behind on the mound right now, Doc Holliday.
You'd rather be behind him than in front of him. 5th in ERA, and there's one of the reasons, a curveball that had Albert Pujols bailing out and ended up almost over the middle of the plate. Holliday's 5th All-Star game. 0-2 delivery. Pujols off the end of the bat, fouls it away.
That 7th complete game was a 2-hit shutout for Doc Holliday in Toronto against Derek Jeter's New York Yankees.
Would Toronto trade Doc Holliday?
Have they lost their mind?
Don't know. The 0-2 delivery on the way. That to right field. That's towards the corner. Ichiro over. That's going to take a hop off the wall. Fair ball. Ichiro to second base. Pujols is out. What a throw by Ichiro as he gets Pujols at second base.
Well, he goes to the All-Star game every year, and he also wins a Gold Glove every year. And you're going to see right now just one of the reasons, actually 3 of the reasons, how quick he got to it, the perfect angle that he took, and a tremendous throw right on the money.
Ichiro got it done. Jeter's going to have to do it again. Running throw. It is there in time. And Chipper Jones retired. So Roy Halladay gets a little help. No runs, 1 hit. Faces only 3. Ichiro 7 straight Gold Gloves. Showed you the arm that helps him win those. Game played in Chicago, 1933, during a depression, and the World Exhibition taking place, trying to find a way to raise money, get people into the city. It worked, and has become a midsummer institution. Now, New York City on this beautiful night, the site for number 79.
How about that? The All-Star game wasn't even thought of when they built this place. Wow.
Amazing, huh? And it is, I mean, it is such a gorgeous evening here. It's hard to describe. You saw the great moon shots, the East River, looking downtown. You see the Empire State Building's decked out in red, white, and blue as the colors were put up for the All-Star game. And all over the city there are statues of Lady Liberty around the neighborhoods dedicated to the different teams. A-Rod is at the plate. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. No score. 0-3-0 for the National League. 0-2-0 for the American League. Zambrano is staying out there on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. That'll be foul back. Threw just 7 pitches in the 3rd inning, so bring him back out, see if he can do it again.
Well, Gary, a lot of times we look at the pitcher-hitter matchups during the regular season. Not a whole lot to go on here in the All-Star game, but A-Rod successful 3 out of 5 times against Zambrano.
0-2 delivery. A-Rod will watch that one move away, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Even with interleague play, these players from the different leagues don't often get to face one another. 1-2 delivery. A-Rod goes after the high heater. 1 away.
Hey, what people don't realize what a great athlete Carlos Zambrano is. You talk about pitchers hitting home runs. This guy can do it as often as any pitcher in all of baseball. And I'll tell you another thing about him. I think he's the toughest guy in all of baseball.
Nice compliment. Pretty good number in 23 starts, 14-4, the 2.59 ERA. Manny Ramirez on a floater behind his head from Zambrano.
That was a knuckleball. That looked like he tried to throw a knuckleball.
I don't know what that was. It was a Rip Sulifa's pitch. Came right back with a heater that must have looked like it was going 200 miles an hour after the first pitch, 1-1.
You know, he messed around with that in between innings, warming up with his catcher for the Cubs, Giovanni Soto. He was just flipping that little thing up there. I mean, this guy's having fun out there.
Game to enjoy.
Well, and he wanted to pitch in this thing because he said, we need home field advantage, talking about the Cubs.
1-1 delivery, fastball inside. We've talked about this before, but this season in Major League Baseball, the home teams have a winning percentage of 57%. If that holds up for the year, it'll be the 6th highest number in Major League history. That's why home field may really matter when it comes to the World Series. Manning on a fastball, fouls it back 2-2.
You know, Gary, you and I looking at the numbers before the game, only 3 teams in all of baseball that are over 500 on the road. Cardinals, Phillies, and the Angels. Yeah, it's important.
Very important. Since '88, World Series have gone 7. Home team won them all. Last road win, 79 with the Pirates.
We are family.
That was it. 2-2. He hit that one right in front of home plate. Utley on the run gets it over to Berkman. Ramirez retired. He has struck out and grounded out 0 for 2. Now we've had singles by Jeter in the first inning and Suzuki a leadoff single in the third. That's it for the American League in hits in the ball game. Between Sheets and Zambrano, they have struck out 4, walked 2. And that will bring up Milton Bradley. Bradley drew 1 of a couple of walks surrendered by the starter Ben Sheets. Zambrano gets that one in there for a strike. Or missed with it, I'm sorry, ball 1. Delivery is swung on a miss. Came into Bradley inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milton Bradley, the DH in the ball game. He may get to go a ways in this as the DH. Chopper, short, backing up. Ramirez, long throw, high, didn't get him. Berkman tried to slap the tag on. That was going to be a close play. However you cut it, we'll see what the ruling is.
I imagine it's going to go as an error. With a good throw, he would have been out. But good hustle once again on the part of Milton Bradley. Not always known for that. He's already stole second base after walking in the second inning. Now hustling down the line, just able to beat the high throw and the tag from Berkman. Look at it. Right off the bat, going hard, head down, looking at the bag. He knew he was safe.
It is an error charge to Ramirez, the first error of the ball game, and keeps the inning going for Kevin Youkilis. Numbers for Youkilis compared to last season. The RBI numbers actually down, the average up. Home runs about the same. Got him! Zambrano with a pickoff move retires Bradley. Caught him flat-footed and leaning, and a perfect throw to Berkman, who just kept that glove going. And only 3 end up coming in this inning. No runs, no hits, an error, nobody left, and no score. That was my hero growing up in New England, Ted Williams.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Josh Hamilton's going to move from center to left.
Moving from center field to left.
Grady Sizemore is going to come in the ball game and play in center.
Ted Williams was a hero for a lot more things than what he did on just the baseball field.
Grady Sizemore in center. And Rick will get a new pitcher, Ervin Santana, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
You wonder, with all of the injuries to the staff of the Angels, how do they have a 6-game lead in the American League West? There's a big part of that reason. 11-3 on Saturday against Oakland, their second-place team. 7 innings, 10 Ks, no runs.
And he goes to work against Matt Holliday. Holliday grounded out his first time up. The pitchers are really dominating here through the first 4 innings of this ballgame. And with pitches like that, you know why. Hitters get some idea of what it must have been like 30, 40, 50 years ago in baseball when you faced starters who went the distance and threw like all of these guys, and you had one every day. Foul back, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Matt Holliday trying to catch up with a fastball, staring over the top Santana gets that one in, fouled away. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of the National League guys told me when I asked them, what's the key to you guys winning tonight? They said, we better have the lead after 5 innings. Well, they are at that point right now.
Santana's pitch will miss outside. Yankee Stadium, some of the perches, that's the roof in left field as you look back in. The stadium has some great sight lines and is a beautiful ballpark. Swung on and foul tipped. Just got enough of that one as he tried to hold up on it, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. At Holiday, the 07 National League MVP runner-up. Numbers that he put up last season and has followed it up with an all-star appearance. His 3rd 2-2 delivery. Right field. That's deep. Way back. Holiday's got it. Goodbye. Home run. Against Santana. The Rocky has given the National League a 1-0 lead.
What's your favorite holiday? Christmas? Easter? I know what it is in Denver, Colorado. It's Matt Holliday, and right now everybody in that National League dugout is thrilled. They said they needed a lead. Matt Holliday was one of the guys that told me that. He just gave them that lead they wanted.
Matt Holliday, 14 homers during the regular season, had an 8-pitch at bat before he drove it out of here and gets his first all-star home run.
This thing worked on the first couple of pitches in that at bat. He was able to Holiday, but all of a sudden he turned it up.
He first hits a home run in an all-star game. Got to feel pretty good about it. And a 1-0 lead. That is hit number 4 for the National League. Ervin Santana giving up the dinger to the first batter faced. Here is Ryan Braun. Braun will foul that one back. Braun strikeout victim, first time up.
You know, I'll never forget last year, manager Bruce Bochy of the Giants and Lou Piniella, manager of the Cubs, were talking. And Piniella wanted the Giants to beat the Brewers. So he started going over the Brewer lineup as they were headed there for the next series. He went through everybody with how to get them out except the guy at home plate.
Chopper towards second base, long throw to come. And a good one by Pedroia.
Piniella told Bochy, I don't know what to tell you. We couldn't get him out. Well, Santana was able to do it there.
Ervin Santana, 12 home runs surrendered during the season. There's Lou Piniella looking at one of his stars, Fukudomi. Now what? A-Rod is coming out. How about this? Terry Francona is taking A-Rod out here in his home yard during an inning in order to give the fans a chance to recognize him, and Joe Creedy's coming in. You don't see that happen very often.
That's a little surprising. The plan going in was for A-Rod to get 3 at-bats.
Don't know if that's a physical problem or not, or if that was just done as a way to try and give him some recognition. He doesn't look too concerned down there, Francona.
Well, you would think if he was hurt, Francona would leave him out there.
Exactly.
Red Sox Yankees.
Fukudomi grounded out his first time up. 279 hitter with 7 home runs. 1-0 lead for the National League here in the top half of the 5th inning. Nobody on. Fukudomi batting 8th in the order. The 1-2 delivery. Now evenly matched, these two teams. If you look at the two rosters, the American League batting average is 296. The National League batting average is 296. The ERA in the American League 2.52. National League 2.95. Fukudomi will go down swinging. Little helicopter finish on that one. And there are 2 down.
Let's take a look at how Santana was able to be successful here. Right by him with the high cheese. Comes back and paints the outside corner. Now you can try to get him to chase. He goes up above the zone. You won't do that. How about going below it? Absolutely. There was the hole.
Santana's first All-Star appearance, greeted with a home run by the first batter he faced. Now he has 2 down. Giovanni Soto. And Soto on a big cut on a breaking ball that falls away, and it's 0-2. Soto, the catcher, Flied out to center field his first time up. 288 hitter will take that one for a strike. See you later. So 1 run on 1 hit with nobody left on base here in the 5th inning. The first one, it is Matt Holliday delivering the shot to right field. His first All-Star hit is a home run. His manager, Clint Hurdle, is the guy in the dugout managing the National League. They lead it 1-0.
Colorado Rockies ended up being the National League champions. Well, there is the biggest reason of all. He won the batting title last year. He led the National League in RBIs, and it all comes down to location here. You make a mistake. Take a look at that. You see where the glove was. It was down in a way. The pitch did not get there. Where it ended up was in Souvenir City out there in right field. You make a mistake, Gary, to a great hitter like that, with a power guy like Holliday, that's how he makes you pay.
Month of July, he has been on fire. 362, 4 homers. Adds one here. We said this is the 4th All-Star game to be played at Yankee Stadium. The National League has won 2 of them. Nate McLouth has come on to play in center field for Fukudome, who is out of there. Russell Martin of the Dodgers will do the catching as Soto is out, and Dan Herron will do the pitching. And Herron starts it out with a fastball in there for a strike to Kevin Youkilis.
It was one of those options that Clint Hurdle had as far as the starting pitcher. 8 wins on the year for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Foul back. Herron making his 2nd All-Star appearance. He finished the first half with the 3rd best ERA in the league.
Well, Herron started the game last year, but it was for the American League team. Of course, then he was a member of the Oakland A's.
0-2 delivery on the way, taken in the air to right field. This one, though, is going to be in the yard. Youkilis is retired. Holliday there to get it. Youkilis 0 for 2. He is struck out and flied out, 1 away.
The catcher, Joe Mauer.
Youkilis out of there. No matter what the game is, he is always upset if he makes an out. Joe Mauer, just a tremendous contact hitter, leading major league catchers with that average over that time span for Mauer.
You know, talking to the Twins manager Ron Gardenhire earlier this year, he said not only is Mauer getting better, but Gary said he's getting better every month.
Scary, isn't it? For oppositions. Broke the bat. That's going to be a base hit. Had it not been touched by Herron, it might have been played behind him. It wasn't hit that hard, but it'll be an infield single for Mauer.
Mauer, one of the few catchers in baseball that has good speed. Above average, definitely for a catcher. Herron going up trying to get it. I'm not sure if Ramirez could have got him or not. It would have been close, but once the ball was deflected off the glove of the pitcher, he knew he had first base.
Ian Kinsler is going to come on to run for Mauer. League's leading hit producer in number of hits. He will run, stay in the ball game. There's Kinsler from the Rangers on at first base. Dustin Pedroia will stand in. So Pedroia knows this is going to be his last at bat because Kinsler will be taking over at second base. Pedroia flied out his first time up.
Well, and Kinsler may be trying to get to second base right now. 23 stolen bases on the year for the Texas Ranger. Only 1 time caught stealing.
Got a pretty good lead over there on Herron. Russell Martin behind the plate. Doesn't go. Pitch will be taken outside for a ball. 2-0 to Pedroia. Dustin Pedroia, 124 hits this season. It is the 3rd highest mark for a Red Sox player at the All-Star break ever. Wade Boggs 1 more at 125, and Nomar Garciaparra the same back in 2003.
Terry Francona last year during the playoffs, Gary, telling us that it's amazing this guy's ability, Pedroia, to put the barrel of the bat on the ball. Flew out to fairly deep center field in his first at bat. Don't let that size fool you. This man has some power. Already 9 home runs.
Fearless player. Runner goes. Big jump. Throw. Martin. Good throw. Not going to get him. Took that one on Heron. Stolen base, Kinsler.
Well, when you've got those tools, you've got to use them, and that's what Terry Francona did. He got a base runner. He put a base stealer out there. The third stolen base already for the American League tonight.
American League has stranded 3 runners, 2 of those in scoring position. And Pedroia is going to be on with a walk. So the National League taking the 1-0 lead on Holiday's homer. A battling back American League squad now with 2 on. Today's broadcast of the 79th MLB All-Star Game is on the Armed Forces Network, AFN. And we are absolutely delighted broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces in 175 countries and on the ships at sea. We are so happy to be doing this and bringing the ball game to you. Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan. We welcome all of you. And we send out our special thank yous to all of you for the service you have provided to this country.
You know, Gary, and so many of the players telling us stories about the servicemen and women. How about Troy Nels and the story Clint Hurdle told you and I before the game, bringing him a flag that he got from when he flew over Afghanistan last week. Ryan Dempster talking about Father's Day last year, Mother's Day this year. He and Cubs players and their wives bringing area families of servicemen and women in the Chicago area out to Wrigley. 50 tickets were given away this year. They're going to do 100 next year.
Runner at second, 1-1 delivery, and Ichiro went around on that. We send out a special hello to Heath Earlbeck. He is from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and a die-hard Cardinal fan. And Heath, if you are watching, this is from your old friends at the AFN Broadcast Center, sending you best wishes and Godspeed. And great to have you on board with us. Runners on at first and second base. Ichiro in the big cut. Heron coming right after him. Now there are 2 down, and here comes Jeter.
You don't see this very often. The hand-eye coordination of Ichiro as good as there is anywhere in the world. But Heron getting that high fastball by him.
Moments in baseball like this are what make history. Playing at Yankee Stadium, his home yard, the Yankee Derek Jeter coming up with 2 on, his club down by a run. Signed a poster, famous catch against the Red Sox when he dove into the stands, came out with a bloodied chin. And the Derek Jeter chant begins. Heron's pitch down low. When you think of all the great players who have worn the pinstripes, tells you what a great career he has already had.
You know, a lot of those base hits have been right out there in that right center field gap.
Loves to take them all the other way when he can. Heron comes back in on the inside corner. He will get it there for a strike. Jeter has now played the second most games at Yankee Stadium. The record is held by Bernie Williams. Williams had 1,039. Jeter's at 972 games played at Yankee Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Delivery by Heron. Jeter swinging through that one. 1-2.
These 2 guys have had a history. 19 at bats. They've faced each other. Derek Jeter knows that split finger fastball you just saw there from Heron, when it's on, it's unhittable.
Heron's trying to keep the lead. Kinsler on at second base. Pedroia's on at first. Dan Heron with a 1-2. Jeter waits. Up high, 2-2. Good battle right here. Only 3 hits on the board for the American League, including the single by Mauer. With 1 away in this inning, Kinsler is running for him. Hamilton on deck. Heron with a 2-2 pitch. Jeter fouls it off, keeping the at-bat alive. That one was almost by him when he hit it.
That's a respect, though, that he's got for that split finger fastball. Trying to lay back. Take a look at it. This is Payne on the outside corner. 94 miles an hour. Derek Jeter foiling that attempt to get the strikeout and the third out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Set up outside, 2-2 delivery. That's where it was, but he missed. 3-2. So the runners will be going. Ian Kinsler at second base, Pedroia at first, get the advantage. They'll get the run. Lynn Hurdle, National League manager, is club up by 1.
Well, now all the infielders have to shorten up a couple of steps because there's no longer a force play anywhere. With the runners off and going speed at the bases, the throw will have to go to first on a ground ball.
7th pitch of the at-bat, grounded. Heron's got it. He'll take it over and gets the out. So the American League now 0 for 6 in this ball game with runners in scoring position. Heron gets the job done. National League still on top after 5-1. And great to have you with us here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. And we have completed 5 innings, 1-4-1 for the National League, 0-3-0 for the American League. Gary Thorne, Rick Sutcliffe, and our cast of characters on hand here. J.D. Drew's in the ball game in right field from the Red Sox, as Ichiro's going to be out of there. And Ian Kinsler will stay in the ball game. Pedroia had been at second base. At first base, Morneau, Justin Morneau will come on to play first. Kevin Youkilis is out of the ball game. And the number 1 ERA in the American League, Rick Sutcliffe, is on the mound.
A rare combination of making the All-Star team as both a starter and a reliever.
Justin Dukeshire in the new battery with Jason Varitek. Ramirez has struck out and singled in the ball game. Big cut on the breaking ball, 1-1.
Take a look at the numbers there, 10 wins. This guy was one of the best setup men in baseball the last 4 years. Put into the rotation. Obviously the right move for Oakland.
That'll be fouled off by Ramirez, and the count will be a ball and 2 strikes.
You see the strikeouts there, very few walks. Great command, Gary, of that breaking ball and changeup. He can throw it at any time to either side of the plate. Not much velocity.
Second time selected to an All-Star game, has held opponents to a 186 average, the best in the league. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Ramirez.
You know, with A-Rod coming out in the top of the 5th inning, I wonder how long Derek Jeter will stay in here in the top of the 6th.
1 out.
I see you put up one finger. I wonder.
1 out. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball. Ramirez waited. Ooh, did he lash that? Hamilton, who's playing in. That'll be back in on a leadoff single here. Ramirez on 2 for 3 in a ball game. See if I was right. See anybody running out to short yet?
Well, you said one. That was a 1 out.
Got to get an out.
One out or 1 hitter.
All right, 1 out. I'll quickly change that to make sure I got a chance.
Well, and I think very quickly Hanley Ramirez might try to steal second base and add to this National League's lead.
Chase Utley of the Phillies standing in. He has struck out and grounded out in the ball game, hitting .291. He will take the pitch away for a ball. 25 home runs this season. That sets a major league record, home runs by a second baseman before the All-Star break. Previous record, Ryne Sandberg at 24, and Jay Bell and Brett Boone had done the same. Runner going, Utley fouls it back. Good catch by a fan, 1-1.
Well, you just think about the Phillies. Gary Ryan Howard winning the MVP award 2 years ago. Their shortstop Jimmy Rollins last year winning it. And right now, if there was a vote, this guy right here would get a lot of first place votes. 3 in a row possibly for the Phillies.
As evidenced by the fact he drew the most fan votes.
Yes, sir.
For the All-Star game in the National League. 1 ball, 1 strike counts. Ramirez was running before. Throw will get him back there.
Had a much shorter lead that time. Maybe a little bit winded with trying to steal second base on the second pitch. Didn't look to be going there.
1-1 with nobody out. Infield double play depth. Delivered Utley, runner not going. That will miss. Bit up high. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Utley also drew the most votes by the players, managers, and coaches at the second base position, besting Dan Ugla, who is also on the team. Utley got 718 votes from the players group. Ugla got 538. Pitch is taken down low. 3-ball, 1 strikeout.
I never forget a couple of years ago what his teammate then, Aaron Rowan, said about Chase Utley. He said, you think of all the great things you could say about someone and they would pertain to him. He plays hard, he plays every day, and he plays to win.
Runner going. That one into the corner. Over to third base, Ramirez. Played by J.D. Drew into second, holding to a single, and Ramirez will stop at third base. And the National League has the corners covered with nobody out. First hit for Utley in the game.
Andy Ramirez had a lot to do with this at bat. Duxer falling behind in the count, 3-1. Utley looking for a strike. The runner's going. The hole between first and second was there with Thorne holding the runner on. And easily getting into third base with nobody out is Hanley Ramirez.
And now Lance Berkman will stand in. First and third. Infield will stay back to try and get 2. Berkman has flied out and struck out. Boy, the middle of this lineup for the National League, you have Berkman, Pujols, and Chipper Jones. That is a lot of high-priced power.
Well, then keep going. Go one more spot.
Want to get down to Holiday? Who's delivered the home run?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a lot of thump right there. They have the best numbers in the middle of the lineup since a lineup that had DiMaggio, Williams, and Jeff Heath of Cleveland in the middle. That one in the air to left center field. Sizemore going back near the warning track will get it. Ramirez will tag. He will score the second run. The National League takes a 2-0 lead, and RBI for Lance Berkman.
73 RBIs during the regular season, coming into the All-Star break. Oh, here comes that move you talked about.
They finally got the out. Michael Young at short for Jeter.
Well, a little bit of love and a lot of respect shown there by Michael Young. And how about the theater being put on here by Terry Francona?
The Red Sox manager with the Yankee players. He has really shown great respect in everything he has done here.
There must have been some ghost in that Yankee manager's office talking to him the last 2 days.
He's really doing everything Joe Girardi would have done if he were the manager of the ball club in this situation. Albert Pujols takes it for a strike.
You know, this is uncharted territory for Terry Francona, though. The World Series, his record as a manager, 8-0. There's the Yankee manager, Joe Girardi, trying to get to a World Series here.
0-1 delivery on the way. Pujols up the middle. He's going to get a base hit. Utley will make the turn and stop. Sizemore will get it back in. And Duchir, the best ERA, wouldn't you know it? The most rudely treated pitcher so far in the ballgame.
Another base hit. The third of the inning. The only out is not really an official out because it went down as a sacrifice fly for Lance Berkman, driving in that run. And another opportunity right here. Really the first big opportunity for the National League to break this game open.
And Chipper Jones, a switch hitter, will stand in. Duchir stepping off. Jones has had a single and has grounded out. 7 hits on the board for the National League. Keep in mind the American League has won 10 consecutive All-Star games. That pitch is going to be inside for a ball to Chipper Jones. His .376 batting average is the best at the All-Star break by anyone in Braves history, as he flirted with the 400 mark for the first 2 months of the season. Very unlikely anyone's going to be able to do that in this day and age. Hit 400 again. That is taken inside. and a 2-0 count.
You know, I remember about a month ago talking with John Smoltz, soon to be Hall of Famer, Atlanta Brave, teammate of Chipper Jones. I said, can he was hitting 420. I said, can he really do it? He said, if he stays healthy, he's got a chance. Well, he did not.
Yeah. Yep, the body had taken its toll early on him, and that dropped the average down. Runners off first and second, only one away. Jones will take it for his strike. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Dukeshire working here to Chipper Jones. Switch hitter. Ian Lance Berkman, 2 of the 5 switch hitters in Major League history, whose average is 300 or higher. Frankie Frisch, Pete Rose, Roberto Alomar are the others. Swung on and missed, fooled him right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he's got to do that, because at 86 miles an hour, which is what we've seen from his fastball, you're not going to fool him with that.
George Sherrill, the closer for the Baltimore Orioles, up in the bullpen. Two ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Chipper with a big cut is gone. Dukeshire gets the strikeout, 2 away in the 6th.
Not wanting to walk. Clearly ball 3. Wasn't the velocity that got him. It was just the location. Chipper rarely going out of the strike zone, but did there.
Dukeshire trying to work his way out of it without further damage. Utley on at second base. Pujols on at first, 2 away. Holiday a home run. Picked up in his last at bat, 1 for 2, grounded out. Holiday and Chipper Jones exchanged comments as Jones headed back. Holiday wanted to know something, or Jones wanted to tell him something about Dukeshire. 0-1 delivery by the right-hander. Towering pop-up behind second base. Kinsler. And he's got it. But a run in, 3 hits, 2 are left. The National League trying to end that 10-game win streak of the American League in All-Star Affairs has extended their lead to 2-0. Don't forget to log on to MLB.com during tonight's All-Star game and vote for this year's All-Star MVP. The voting starts from the 6th inning on, so you can vote now through the end of the game, and you'll help select tonight's All-Star MVP. Be part of that history. Just go to MLB.com.
You know, part of that history the last 20 years has been not including pitchers. Back in that day, they were going 3, 4, sometimes 5 innings. It doesn't happen anymore. They're not going to get any more votes.
Nope. A lot of changes here as Herron's going to stay on to do the pitching. He'll work his 2nd inning. 2-7-1 for the National League, 0-3-0 for the American League. Ben Sheets, Carlos Zambrano, and Dan Herron have held the American League down so far. Josh Hamilton, 3rd at bat. He has struck out and grounded out as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Herron with a 1-0. Corey Hart has come into the ball game. He'll play in right field from the Brew Crew. Aramis Ramirez, Cubs, 3rd base. Herron's delivery. That's going to be a base hit. So Josh Hamilton is on with a leadoff single here in the 6th inning. That's what the American League needed. There's Miguel Tejada playing it short from Houston. Douglas at second base. The Marlins. And Adrian Gonzalez, San Diego, first base. 4 hits now for the American League. Down low for a ball.
Gary, here was the big question mark that manager Clint Hurdle had. 1 or 2 innings out of pitcher Danny Herron. He's trying to stretch him out for that 2nd one. We'll see if he'll make it or not.
Joe Creedy getting his first at bat. Fouls that one right off the end and right off the top of the dugout. Creedy with the Chicago White Sox as they vie for a division title this season. Game and a half ahead of the Minnesota Twins at the All-Star break.
Well, you and I and the Major League Baseball International fans remember this guy, what he did offensively and defensively for those White Sox in their World Series run.
Creedy will take that one foul. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. A runner on at first, nobody out. lot of people talking about, would it be a Chicago World Series? White Sox, Cubs. Got a chance. 1-2 delivery by Dan Herron, and again late on a fastball. It'll end up in the seats.
Saw an interesting note on Joe Creedy. You look at Aramis Ramirez, third baseman for National League team. Creedy playing third for the American League. He's got 16 homers this year, Gary. All 16 off right-handed pitching.
That is going to be fouled off. It'll stay at a 1-ball, 2-strike count. We talked about how important is home field advantage. Well, in interleague play, the Cubs and the White Sox played one another, and they both swept the games that were played in their home yard. White Sox winning 3 at, I still call it Comiskey, even though it's not, and over at Wrigley on the other side. The Cubs won all 3 games.
It's still Wrigley.
It's still Wrigley. Towering pop-up, second base. Ugla moves back in a bit, puts that one away. Creedy's retired, 1 down. Hamilton back to first base. These hitters you're seeing now, for the most part, are getting their first at bat. Grady Sizemore coming up. He'll get his first chance at it. Clint Hurdle making the changes for the National League.
Center fielder Grady Sizemore.
Hoping that he'll be the manager that'll end the 10-game run of the American League in this All-Star game. Grady Sizemore. Runner goes. Here's the throw. Martin threw it into center field. So hard that there's no chance to move on. It'll be a stolen base for Hamilton.
Well, they're running on Herron. Not really a high leg kick, but they're getting a good jump. Martin knew he had to come up with a perfect throw, had a lot on it, but just not able to get it down to where it could be handled.
4th stolen base. You don't see that in an All-Star game very often. 4 stolen bases for the American League. Puts a runner in scoring position again. Herron gets the breaking ball in to Grady Sizemore.
You know, it just kind of had that tone to it from the very beginning. When Cliff Lee struck out Ramirez and Utley, it was almost like both managers go, wait a minute, all right, we better get into that small ball mode.
1-ball, 1-strike delivery to him. Sizemore takes it inside. Nice stop by Martin, as he had to go down and in. Hitter did not go around. It will remain a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Oh, and you got a guy that's leading the American League in home runs. Every pitch is important. Martin trying to get that call, did not.
The delivery, and will miss up high with that one. 3-ball, 1-strike count. So the American League trying to mount a rally here. Runner on at second base and only 1 down. Sizemore with 54 RBIs and 23 home runs. Fouls that one back, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
I just don't sense any panic at all on the American League side right now. I think a lot of that has to do with they don't have to face the bullpen that the National League will have to face. There's not a Papelbon, a K-Rod, a Mariano Rivera, or Joe Nathan coming out of that pen.
League's leading home run hitter standing at the plate. 3-2 delivery to him, and he is out of there. He wanted to head to first base, but he got hauled back in by Darrell Cousins.
The designated hitter, Milton Bradley.
I mean, that ball's right down the middle. Guessing off speed, I would say it's a pretty good guess.
Just got fooled. The American League's had chances, just can't get it done. They're 0 for 7 now with runners in scoring position. Herron's got 2 strikeouts. Now faces Milton Bradley, 2 down. And Bradley hits a towering fly ball to center field. Buff moves over, and he's got it. They're still trying to get an RBI. National League has received scoreless 2-inning outings from Ben Sheets, Carlos Zambrano, and now Dan Herron. 2-0. The beautiful Rachel Robinson threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Jim Palmer was on the hill from the Orioles. Cincinnati Reds second baseman Joe Morgan led it off, and did he ever. A home run. A dejected Reggie Jackson up against the wall looking on. Greg Luzinski also homered in the first to give the National League a 4-0 lead before a lot of fans had even settled into their seats. The National League manager, Sparky Anderson, he had fired up his players. The hometown skipper Billy Martin tried to get the game close late. RBI, Yankee second baseman Willie Randolph got it. However, it would be Goose Gossage coming on. The strikeout of the Yankee captain, Thurman Munson. And the National League went on to win its 6th consecutive game after the Midsummer Classic there, 7-5. Yankee Stadium, the site for that one and for this one. And we go to the 7th inning. Ryan Braun against Joe Nathan, who has come on to pitch.
Is Ryan Braun.
Justin Duccier had a tough inning. Carlos Quentin is now playing in left field from the Chicago White Sox. 0-1 delivery inside out, foul ball.
Tell you what, Justin had a tough inning, but he only allowed 1 run. He gave up 3 hits, the sac fly. He had an opportunity to give up a lot more than that, but with just a 2-run lead right now, you've got Nathan, you got Papelbon, you got the power closers coming in. American League just trying to keep this close.
Strikeout pitcher Nathan facing the bottom part of the order. Swung on and didn't get it. And the home run hitter, Braun, is retired. 0 for 3 in the ball game. He has struck out twice. 1 away in the top half of the 7th.
You're going to see a lot of those swings the rest of the way for the National League. These guys have a way of embarrassing good hitters, and they've done it for the last several years, Nathan being one of them.
There is Papelbon from the Red Sox getting ready in the bullpen.
We better hurry because we were told Nathan's only going to record 1 more out.
Yeah. Nathan's delivery will be taken up high for a ball. Nate McLouthly's playing in center field from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Leads the National League in extra base hits. It is his first All-Star appearance. And McLouth will take it down low for a ball. 281, 19 homers, 65 RBIs for him, and you see the 55 extra base hits, tying him for first. Pirates had hoped to get things turned around a little bit this season with some good young talent. They are still struggling in the division. Towering fly ball to left center field. It'll be played by Grady Sizemore for the out, and there are 2 down here in the 7th inning. 2 down, nobody on in the 7th. And Martin will get his first shot at it, the catcher from the Dodgers.
I think they're trying to see right now if Papelbon's ready or not.
Looks like they'd like to get Nathan out of there. Jimmy Leland, manager of the Tigers, calling down. Papelbon standing, watching, talking.
I mean, what was it? 5 pitches?
And talk his way right through it.
You went in the game or not?
Phone's ringing again. There's Mariano Rivera watching. Before the All-Star game last weekend, when the announcement of the rosters was made, both A-Rod and Derek Jeter and a couple of the Red Sox players used the term weird when they talked about what it would be like coming to Yankee Stadium in the American League, players from Boston being in that Yankee clubhouse. Such a competitive group sharing a clubhouse. That'll be hauled in by Sizemore. Martin is out of there. It only took 8 pitches by Nathan to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. 7th inning stretch time. Weird. Jeter. Euclid. They're not even swearing at each other. Lance Berkman with an RBI sacrifice fly. Matt Holliday, Colorado, with a home run in the 5th inning, accounting for the 2. While the American League has gone 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Clint Hurdle, the manager of the National League All-Stars, with Darryl Cousins giving him the lineup changes.
Well, let me get to the rest of the story. How about Ben Sheets with 2 scoreless innings and 3 strikeouts, and Brano with 2, Heron with 2, and now the flame-throwing right-hander for the Cincinnati Reds on to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th.
Take a look at how this 79th All-Star game has progressed to the 7th inning stretch. The solo home run. Matt Holliday got it. Ramirez, 2 singles and a run. The American League, 4 singles, 3 walks. But that 0 for 8, when they've needed the big hit, has not happened.
Well, a lot of that 0 for 8 has come via the strikeout. And Gary, we talked about it to begin with. Only 1 strikeout for National League pitching a year ago. They've got 6 of them already tonight. And you talk about striking. It was the right fielder for the National League team, Matt Holliday, the runner-up for the MVP a year ago, led the league in batting, led it in RBIs, and with that leadoff home run, he has led the National League to the lead here in the All-Star game.
Big house seeing a heck of a ball game being played here. There's Holliday over there on the bench now, so he's out of the game. Unlike some of the years gone by, these players, when they come out of the ball game, are staying, not leaving. Ryan Ludwig is having a tremendous season with the St. Louis Cardinals, who have been one of the surprise teams in the first half, has come on to play in left field. And one of the surprise stories, Edison Volquez. Look at those numbers, Rick.
You know what, you look at those numbers and it reminds you of some of the things Pedro Martinez used to do when he was dominating. Wait till you see this delivery. And it's not by accident that this will remind you a lot of Pedro.
Volquez can bring it.
24 years old from the Dominican Republic in his first All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, he's going to be bringing it.
Justin Morneau, second best average in the league, 3rd in RBIs and 7th in on-base percentage, and with power from the Minnesota Twins. First at bat for Morneau. Volquez delivery, a fastball that will miss outside for a ball. The winner of the home run derby at the plate against this youngster.
Take a look at his left arm. Forget about the right. No, that's the one releasing the baseball, but look at the power he gets from the left one. A lot like Pedro with how he pulls that thing in. He throws the glove out, creating that deception, which makes his changeup almost as effective as Pedro's has been.
A 2-0 count. Volquez rocks with a 2-0 delivery, and that's going to be a base hit into right center field. Morneau getting it. It rolls. It's going to be enough for 2. McClough backing up. Gets it back in, but Morneau's on with a leadoff double here in the 7th inning. That is the first extra base hit for the American League in this game.
Morneau was actually the MVP before he was ever an All-Star. When you think about winning the MVP in the American League, Gary, over the last 10 years, you got to say if you're the best player in that league, you're the best player in the game of baseball.
First game that's been played with 3 Canadian players. Ryan Dempster we've not seen yet. Martin is working behind the plate, we have seen, and now Morneau. First All-Star game that's featured 3 Canadians. The American League keeps knocking at the door. 9 base runners tonight. Trying to get the big hit that will get one of them home. Ian Kinsler. First at bat for Kinsler from Texas. Playing at second base. Tremendous first half. First in hits, first in runs, 10th in RBIs, and the league's leading hitter at .337. Kinsler ground ball to short will move the runner over. Tejada makes the play. Miguel Tejada over to first base, where Adrian Gonzalez is playing. Runner at third now, 1 down.
I think this is another classic move. On the part of Terry Francona, with Navarro coming up here pinch hitting for Jason Varitek.
The Red Sox catcher got some work behind the plate but did not get an at bat. Deano Navarro of the surprise Tampa Bay Rays will stand in. Boston at the All-Star break a half a game ahead of Tampa Bay. They finally caught him in the last weekend. Pitch is taken down low. Runner at third. Deano Navarro hitting at .310, 4 home runs, 35 RBIs. first All-Star game. And Mauer, Navarro, and Varitek, 3 catchers on the roster for the American League. Volquez's delivery is swung on. Boy, he had great tailing action on that one. That's the pitch you were talking about, Rick.
That's the one, boy. He gets so much deception out of that glove going out there. He's got so much velocity on its fastball. You can see right now why this guy is having such a great year. Already 12-3.
And the best ERA in the league. 1-1 delivery on the way. Grounded foul. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes.
Take a look here at that deception. You see him twirling the baseball around, hiding his face there, checks the runner. Now the glove comes up, and then the next thing you know, you don't.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Looking over to third base. Morneau's got the lead there. How about that deal? Josh Hamilton has become a hero here at the All-Star game, and Volquez, they were traded for one another, and they're both in the All-Star game. I mean, that's unbelievable. That just doesn't happen. You get that kind of a deal, and you get the kind of numbers from both of them to bring them here to New York. Foul back, it stays at 2-2. Navarro battling here, trying to get an RBI in and get that 0 off the board for the American League.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, you got a 24-year-old that throws 97 with a change.
You want to hang on to him? Is that what you're saying?
I know. You're thinking there's that pitcher coming out at him again.
Well,
I love Hamilton. That's
2-2 got him. Fastball inside corner. See you later.
I love Hamilton, but what's not to love about that? Unless you're an American League fan. Look at this. Look at the late movement exploding back, really right down the heart of the plate. And to begin with, Navarro thought that ball had no chance of being a strike.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the word.
I think I got you on my side, don't I?
If the adage holds true, it begins and ends on the mound. J.D. Drew, welcome to the chorus of boos. His first at bat. 2.29, number 1 in the National League. Last Reds player to lead. A while ago.
I don't even know who that is.
19. I don't know his first name.
I have not seen that name before.
J.D. Drew hitting at 302. With the Red Sox missing David Ortiz, their designated hitter, with an injury, with Manny Ramirez struggling a bit at times, of all people, J.D. Drew ended up being the guy that at times in the first half carried the Red Sox offensively with tremendous first half numbers. If you had said that at the beginning of the year, you'd have been laughed out of the room. 1-1 delivery is taken down low, 2-1. He was being booed in Boston, for gosh sake, at the end of last year.
Well, he was booed almost all year long until with one swing of the bat, Fausto Carmona, he hit that grand slam homer in the ALCS, turning that series around.
It is his first All-Star game. 2-1 strike count. Volquez pitch to him. He rifles it. Right field, way back. Goodbye home run. Unbelievable. Baseball is always great theater. And here it is again. Raise the curtain, J.D. Drew. The Red Sox and even the Yankee fans have to applaud at least a little. It is a tie game.
I'll tell you another thing. Not only, as you mentioned, Gary, is it his first All-Star game, that is the first career homer ever for J.D. Drew at Yankee Stadium. How about that? You just knew that there was no sense of panic in that American League dugout because they knew what they had coming in. As far as scoring, it was over for the National League. They just had to figure out a way to score.
Teammates from Boston. That's Dave Magadan, the hitting coach, on the far left there. Dustin Pedroia, Varitek, the captain.
Well, they won Game 1 of the World Series at Fenway.
That's right. 0-1 delivery is swung on a miss. Michael Young, and even at Yankee Stadium, the Yankee fans watching a shot that just made it over the wall.
Well, they had to think about it. Wait, that's a homer, yeah, but it's a Red Sox. What do we do?
Decisions, decisions, decisions. Michael Young getting his first at bat. How about this game? I mean, this is the beauty of baseball, isn't it? The two best ERAs in their respective leagues. Dukeshire gave up a run on 3 hits in an inning. Volquez has the best ERA in the league. In his league, he comes on and gives up the home run. The guys with the best ERA numbers. 1-2 delivery on the way, and I think he went around. He did. He is out of there. The American League was 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position before J.D. Drew came up here for his first at bat and delivered an all-star home run that Volquez still can't believe. Ball game is tied. Well, J.D. Drew exciting his teammates from Boston and even the Yankee fans who had to begrudgingly stand. It is for the American League, and it tied the ball game up in his first at bat. It is now 2-2.
And what happens for the Red Sox when a Red Sox hitter ties the game? You've got to tie a game or a lead late. Well, if you're Terry Francona, this is the move you make, and more times than not, it has worked out with Papelbon, their closer, coming on.
To a chorus of boos, we might add. 13th player to hit a home run in his first plate appearance. David Wright, who's on the All-Star team for the National League from the Mets, did it in 06. And Terry Francona's Red Sox putting on the show here to tie it up.
Well, and like you said, to a chorus of boos, just to explain that, we look at Navarro, who's behind the plate now. Papelbon on the mound. Papelbon made a comment that was honestly taking, I mean, it was New York media blowing up something that shouldn't have been. He said, why not me on the mound in the 9th inning? Well, he didn't really mean it. And I love what Francona told us before the game. He said, look, he didn't have any of the Ivy League schools calling him to go to college there.
That was a great line, wasn't it?
That was beautiful.
Mariano Rivera will start lacing up. Here's Papelbon against Miguel Tejada, the former Baltimore Oriole All-Star, traded to Houston, All-Star. Back at it. Hitting .275, 10 home runs, 44 RBIs. Jonathan Papelbon. 0-1 delivery. Tejada loops it, base hit right field. So Tejada comes right back, and the fans boo Papelbon for giving up a single.
Well, Papelbon's not going to finish this inning, as we were told, or so we were told. K-Rod will be coming on at some point to finish the 8th inning, leaving the 9th inning for Mariano Rivera.
Warming up in the bullpen. Rodriguez may actually be ready, and the fans are chanting Mariano. I mean, boy, this competitive spirit with the Yankees and Red Sox runs deep, and an All-Star game does not overshadow it. Dan Uggla, first at bat. Runner at first base, nobody out.
Tell you what, this is one of the easier opportunities to steal a base. Miguel Tejada, not the young man he once was. He's running in place down there trying to get her ready, but here with that big high leg kick for Papelbon, he's inviting you to take off.
National League trying to get the lead back here. Papelbon 0-1. Uggla will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. He didn't think so as he looked back momentarily. Tie ball game. We're in the 8th inning. 2-8-1 for the National League. 2-6-0 for the American League. 21-23 against right-handers for Dan Uggla of the Marlins. Papelbon's delivery to him. That one tailed inside. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 55,635. The attendance here for the 79th All-Star game. The last and final one to be played here at Yankee Stadium, with the stadium closing at the end of this year. 1-2 delivery on the way. Chased one way upstairs on that one. Papelbon getting some help. Strikeout. The fans were actually chanting overrated in talking about Papelbon, who's pitching for the team they're supposed to be hoping will win this game. Oh my. Adrian Gonzalez getting his first at bat. San Diego Padres representative at the All-Star game. Tejada is running. Here's the throw off the mark and into center. Going to try and go to third. Sizemore will have no play. Stolen base and an error for Miguel Tejada. Navarro throwing it away.
It was there for the whole at bat with Uggla. Tejada deciding not to take off. He picks his spot. And he also picks a time where Navarro was going to throw it away. Almost like a pitch out. I mean, that's just a poor throw right there. It's a poor job on the part of Kinsler. You got to secure baseball. He didn't do it. Now the infield's in. Adrian Gonzalez with an opportunity to take the lead.
Infield on the grass. And a pop-up that is maybe deep enough. Tejada. Carlos Quentin's got a cannon. Here comes Tejada. Here's Quentin's throw, and it's off the mark. And the National League is back on top, 3-2, as the fans royally boo Papelbon. Interesting that Sizemore let Quentin take that and get set up to try and make the play at the plate. Obviously, it is the stolen base and the error that set up the run, not Papelbon's work here, even though he did give up that leadoff single to Miguel Tejada. Gonzalez gets the RBI. Now there are two down. Bases are empty and a strike taken. Here's David Wright.
You know what? He really wasn't in a good position to make that throw. He should have been behind it more and coming towards home plate, the direction the throw was going to go. He kind of caught it and was hesitant there to begin with.
0-1 delivery by Papelbon. David Wright fouls that one right off the end of the bat. So the National League gets that lead right back in the next half inning. New York Mets third baseman, fifth in RBIs, his third All-Star game. He's gone 2 for 6 with a home run and an RBI in All-Star appearances. Volquez feels a whole lot better right now. He gave up the Drew home run that tied the ball game up. The run here gives him a chance to be pitcher in this ball game. 0-2 delivery outside. Strike is retired. Papelbon, wow. It is an unearned run. Fans don't care. He's got a Red Sox uniform on. He tips his cap. Property of the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball and is intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publications, reproductions, retransmissions, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Pretty darn good ball game right here at Yankee Stadium. Here in this All-Star game, the National League now on 2. That was an unearned run that's Adrian Gonzalez, sack leader in the National League. Ryan Wilson
of age, his first All-Star game.
throws hard enough to tear the Mitt Martin's hand. Wilson working here to Carlos Quentin of the White Sox. First at bat for him. Look at the movement on that thing. Outside though, 2-0.
Can you imagine though the movement that's going on right now? What the pressure would be. Like you mentioned, he's leading the National League with 20, but this one is different.
2-0 delivery on the way. Got that one in center field. Clout is there, and he's got it. And that will retire Quentin here in the 8th. 1 away. So Volquez, the 2 runs on 2 hits. He only gave up a run so far in the ball game for the National League. Could be the winning pitcher. Rodriguez and Rivera. That's That's something any manager would look out and go, I'm all set. And the skipper of the Yankees, Joe Girardi's actually out there in the bullpen catching Rivera. How about that?
Well, he did that a lot.
Yeah, he did.
As a player. Wasn't that long?
Carlos Guillen is going to get his first at bat. Manager's trying to get people into the ball game, and again, as happens every year, and it will be argued about again. Late in the game, close game, decides the World Series home advantage. In the end, the managers try and get everybody into the ball game. Starters are all out. So supposedly your best players have left the game at a time when it's now crunch time as far as the outcome of the game is concerned. That is the nature of the All. Pedroia, Jeter. Both starters.
That looks friendly, doesn't it?
It does. Delivery. Well, those are two guys that'd be pretty hard not to say you can't be friendly with. I mean, they're just two very likable people.
You're exactly right. I wonder how A-Rod and that guy are getting along. I wonder if they've had coffee or any kind.
Red Sox and the captain of Boston.
They had a little brawl a couple years ago.
Carlos Guillen waiting on a 1-2 delivery. Foul back and a breaking ball from Brian Wilson.
Wilson needs to pretend like he's saving this game not only for the National League but for starting pitcher Tim Lincecum of the Giants. Of the 25 saves for him this year, 7 have come, and Lincecum wins.
Lincecum not available to pitch, did not feel well when he came to the ballpark today, so they do not want to have to use him in the ball game. 1-2 delivery, foul back, and it'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. If your name's Brian Wilson and you're from California, what are you doing in a ballpark? You should either be surfing or at a concert. For those of you who don't get that,
they never will.
Google it.
I got
1-2 delivery, and that'll be taken away for a ball. 2-2. Fourth in RBIs in the American League. Carlos Guillen, Detroit, third appearance. 0 for 2 in all-star at-bats for him. 8 home runs, 47 runs batted in. 2-2 delivery to him. Fouled straight back. He tried to jump on that one.
This guy's some kind of a player, boy. He's moved around quite a bit. Remember when he was a shortstop? Then he went to second because of A-Rod with Seattle. Traded at one time in a deal that involved Randy Johnson. And now, of course, when Miguel Cabrera struggled defensively at third for Detroit, Guillen was at first. He said, you know, I'll go over there. I can play that position. And he can also hit.
Billy Wagner, Mets, closer. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Well, the American League trying to get something going here in the 8th inning.
Kind of wondering if Wagner's not getting ready for the AL home run leader at this point right now in the on-deck. Grady Sizemore.
May well be, as he's staying loose out there. He obviously is ready to go if needed. 3-2 delivery on the way. Got him. Not what he was looking for, and he was behind on it. So Clint Hurdle, the manager of the National League All-Stars, will make his way out. Brian Wilson will have worked 2/3 of an inning and will record a strikeout and zeros across. And Wagner indeed will come on to do the pitching with Grady Sizemore due up. Saves in the National League. Left-hander.
6-time All-Star, pitched in the game just a year ago in which he gave up a 2-run homer to Victor Martinez.
Grady Sizemore, league leader in homers in the American League. Pitches up high for a ball.
You don't want a whole lot of decisions out of your closer. That means that things have gone wrong.
Sizemore rips that one foul. Sizemore struck out, only at bat he has had. .273 hitter with 23 homers and 54 RBIs. A 3-2 ball game with the National League on top. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The American League, of course, a home team here at Yankee Stadium. Met fans on hand. 1-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be a base hit. So Size, Rick mentioned, has his problems against left-handers. Gets one off Wagner here. Down.
And that's one of the better left-handers in the game. And now, as far as what I've got, the last guy available on Terry Francona's bench coming up now, Evan Longoria, the pride of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach with Colorado and the pitching coach for the National League Stars, stopped talking to Wagner and Russell Martin, the catcher, as Evan Longoria, the Rays, is going to come on as a pinch hitter in the DH role for Milton Bradley with Sizemore. You would have to say the story of the first half as they maintain that top position in the division until the Red Sox caught them last weekend.
I think you said it perfectly. As a team, that's exactly how they have done it.
They do not have individual players you look at and go, there's the one and there's the one. Instead, it's a lineup where everybody's contributed. The same in pitching. Longoria fouls it back. He's got 16 homers, 53 RBIs, hitting .275 in the year. Getting his first chance at an all-star game, and the way he plays, there'll be more to come for Evan Longoria. A third baseman learning his craft really at the major league level. Sizemore on at first base. There are two down. Wagner's delivery to him will be fouled back. 1-2.
Well, there's a couple of teams that aren't a real big surprise up there as far as this year at the break, the best record. Angels, Red Sox, White Sox coming back with a good rotation. Look at Lou Piniella and those Cubs, and how about Tampa? Come on, nobody get that.
Nobody. Runner goes, pitches inside. It'll be a stolen base. Sizemore, the potential tying run, gets the 5th stolen base for the American League. 5 for 5 for the AL in stealing bases.
Martin's got to go out now, figure out a set of signs with a man on second. You can't just put down one sign. That won't take long.
While the starters all came out and the managers have gotten everybody in, the game is played like a ball game. There have been stolen bases, sac flies, runners been moved over. 5 stolen bases. AL ties the record set at 98. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Longoria. That one's going to be into the corner. That's going to be an RBI. A ground rule double. Evan Longoria, his first all-star at bat, has tied the game at 3.
You make for the bullpen, left-handed hitter. You bring in your and only left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. It on hurdle. Sizemore with the base hit, the stolen base, and Longoria with tying up the game, and he's just third base to home, away from giving it.
2 down. That ball a slow chopper. It'll be played by Wagner himself to get Morneau. But a run in on 2 hits with a base runner left on. And Evan Longoria making his all-star presence felt. Now it's up to the 10. 3-3. 8th. Games. We go to the 9th inning. It is tied 3. Each team identical scores in a National League. Here is K-Rod. Rodriguez.
We were joking, very frank, using Rivera for 2 innings tonight. Him out going into the second half of the season. Said, heck with that. This is the guy he said leave out there for innings. Of course, after the Anaheim against the Yankees.
He hits an innings pitched and a lot of strikeouts. Ramirez will lead it off. League 9th inning, goes after the Morneau in foul territory is going to run out of room. And Ramirez will strike count. Ski in the state third. All both out of the ball game. RBIs tied for 8th, 66 for Ramirez. And he does have some pop in that bat. One of the most violent motions, Rick, I think I've ever seen from a pitcher. Rodriguez.
I think that's part of the reason the Angels have not long-term deal. They wonder how long he can last like this.
And it's like he's throwing his last pitch of his career every time he delivers.
Usually more breaking balls than fastballs, but even when he throws the fastball, I mean, it's 90 miles an hour plus. 38 saves already. That's a record before the break.
1-2 delivery, and you do not dig in when you're facing Rodriguez.
Got the old record of 34 saves back in 2003 break.
2-2 away. Breaking ball that time is in the dirt. Bounces 3-2. I'm not sure who it's against the guy trying to catch him behind the plate.
They both get beat up.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah. You know, with 38 saves already, you got to start thinking the all-time record by Thigpen of the White Sox of 50. Angels are going to win a bunch more games. He'll have some opportunities.
3-2 delivery on the way, and he walked him. This game seesaws back and forth on each half inning since the 6th. We've gone back and forth after the pitchers dominated through the first 5 innings. Now the potential go-ahead run is on here in the top half of the 9th inning. That is the first walk that the National League hitters have picked up in this game. Christian Guzman will come on to run. So Guzman will run at first from the Nationals. Leadoff man on in the 9th inning. Corey Hart, first at bat. Hart takes a breaking ball for a strike. Milwaukee Brewers, 289, 15 homers, and 58 RBIs. Or 50 rather. Breaking ball hit in the air to right. J.D. Drew. 1 away in the 9th.
Yeah, it's a tough spot there. Guy's first All-Star game. Voted in on the final vote, that being Corey Hart. But the situation there, if you're trying to win the game, called for the sacrifice bunt. I laugh a little bit, though, when I look at the roster for the National League. There aren't many sacrifice bunts with that whole team.
No. Now the fans are going to implode here. Mariano Rivera is coming in. The strains of Enter Sandman by Metallica, so often heard here. The difference was it was Red Sox manager Terry Francona who went out to bring him into the game. Mariano is the champ. Rivera will come on with a runner at first base, 1 down, 9th inning.
Probably the easiest move of the night for either manager to make, huh? He's been perfect all year long. Yankees in the save department. 38 years of age. His 9th All-Star game somehow has seemed to get even better.
Hard to believe, but true. The numbers on the season. 4th in strikeouts with 50. Rivera All-Star games, 5 1/3, 1 run, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Maybe the only time ever Terry Francona has a chance to bring Mariano Rivera in, and a chance for him to win the ball game if he could hold the National League scoreless here. And should the American League come back in the bottom of the 9th and win it, he might be the winning pitcher in the ball game. That's way out there. The way this game has gone, his teammate Derek hanging in and watching. He and Dustin Pedroia have struck up a pretty good friendship over there. They've been up on the railing now for the last 3 innings talking. It's pretty good.
Remember those All-Star games when a lot of those guys were private planes and be on their way home by now?
Well, they've hung in. So Mariano Rivera will go to work. Ryan Ludwig, St. Louis Cardinals, first at bat. And the pitch is taken for a strike.
Don't look for a walk. You've seen up to this point all year long, he's only walked 4, that being Rivera.
6th in extra base hits in the league. His All-Star appearance, hitting .289, 21 homers, 65 RBIs. Flash bulbs going off all over the place. Every delivery by Mariano Rivera.
Well, and on every single warm-up pitch.
Let's go, Yankees.
They're great. They are always into it here.
1-1 delivery is outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, he's not going to walk you. You don't want to ground into a double play. I'm seeing a little motion right now from the National League. Sin Guzman, try to have a 1st and 3rd.
Rivera's delivery gets in behind it, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Just reaches back. Gary's always had that ability to find that next gear. And he needs to find a little bit more. He knows where to go to get it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Runner at first base. Missed outside with it. Count goes full.
If it starts away, stay. That's what we've always heard with Mariano Rivera. That can move off the outside corner if that's where it begins.
3-2. Will Guzman go at first base with 1 down? Yes, he will. Swung on and missed. Strike him out. Throw him out. Yes! Deanna Navarro behind the plate. You get the feeling you're in a baseball game, and this ain't exhibition. Watch the quick feet. Navarro up. Over the top to end the inning. Bottom of the 9th, 3-3. Yankee shortstop who was watching. Rivera igniting Yankee Stadium, as he's done so many times before.
You know, another thing I love about Mariano Rivera, there's nothing not to love, but when he comes in a few times in a tie ball game and he'll get the out and they'll sit in the bottom of the 9th trying to win it, he's the biggest cheerleader you'll find on that bench. He is so into every single ball game trying to pick up a win.
There's your line as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Sandman was on. Could he be an MVP? Well, if they come back and win the ball game right here, yes, he might be. Ian Kinsler's going to lead it off, bottom of the 9th inning. Deanna Navarro, the catcher, and then J.D. Drew. Christian Guzman remains in the ball game, playing at third base from the Nationals. So here we go. Brian Dempster has come on to do the pitching for the National League, and Kinsler will take a strike.
Clint Hurdle saying that Brian Dempster was begging to get into this ball game. He just started on Sunday for the Cubs. Picked up the loss in a game against the Giants and Tim Lincecum.
Well, he wanted to get in. He's in it all right.
Well, you know what? He was selected to the All-Star team as a starting pitcher for the Marlins back in 2000, and he didn't get to pitch, Gary, so you can understand that.
Absolutely. 1-1 delivery. Kinsler will take it. Did he go? They want to check. Yes, he did. Ed Rapuano makes the call at first base, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Yep. Put that bat out over the plate, and you will be called on the check swing. League's leading hitter, Ian Kinsler, takes the pitch outside for a ball. Kinsler has had one at bat. He grounded out.
Take a look at him twisting the glove. He just tries not to tip any of his pitches by doing that.
It's a funky little move.
It is.
And that'll be fouled off. You wouldn't know anything about that since you only took the ball and drew it somehow backwards towards your arm as you got ready to deliver.
You're hurting yourself trying to get there right
hurts.
now. Yeah,
just trying to do that hurts.
Well, try to do it for 18 years.
Somebody teach you that, or did you come up with that on your own?
Well, and I tried to break it every year, but
really.
And you know what Dempster's doing here? You know, a lot of guys with their glove will tip their pitches.
And he gets Kinsler.
Here, fooling him with that off-speed pitch, a good tight slider. Yeah, he twists that around. You know, we've talked about it, Pettit and Randy Johnson, how they from time to time with that glove will give away what they're throwing. Dempster doing all of those things just to keep from giving anybody any idea.
Deanna Navarro well over his career average with that .310 mark, 4 homers, 35 RBIs. Navarro throwing that shot down in the top half of the inning to get the runner at second base. One down here in the 9th inning.
Wow, it's 2 for 3 against Dempster.
3-3 ball game. That's going to be fouled off by Navarro. Both managers, when we talked with Clint Hurdle and Terry Francona, one of the things they're very concerned with, making sure in the changes they've made, they've left somebody behind. When you go into extra innings, you do not want to get caught short.
Well, when you got Soria from Kansas City and Sherrill from the Orioles.
Take go, no.
After you Dempster here on the National League, you've got Marmol. And you've got Aaron Cook, Colorado Rocky, of course, Clint Hurdle familiar with. We were told Webb and Lincecum were no's.
Foul back. Now Lincecum is a possibility in an emergency situation, but not likely. Maybe the Cubs will have to finish up the ball game.
Kazmir, we were told, was probably a no.
Yeah. They did not want to have to pitch Scott Kazmir. That one just missed outside. And Navarro takes the pull against Ryan Dempster, 3-2.
Trying to paint that outside corner. Just missing. How about the done tonight? Has anybody argued?
Nope. Foul tipped into the mitt. Held on to. Dempster, 2 Ks.
J.D. Drew with 1 homer. With 2 homers for him, this American League heavy crowd will go home happy.
J.D. Drew trying to win a ball game for Mariano Rivera and the American League.
How about 11 Ks by the National League pitchers after only 1 a year ago?
Drew delivered the home run in his first All-Star inning. A 2 RBI homer that tied the ball game up. Since June 1st, with their designated hitter David Ortiz out, as we said, he has carried the ball club. And Ramirez also went cold during part of that time. J.D. Drew just started driving the baseball. Overall, 302, 17 homers, and 55 RBIs. And that will be taken down low. J.D. Drew has a chance, if he were to hit another home run here, to actually have Yankee fans applaud. The only reason would be Mariano Rivera would be the winning pitcher. Other than that, it wouldn't happen. 2 ball, 1 strike count. The delivery by Dempster is a fastball up high, and it falls behind. 3-1.
Tell you what, this is a tough spot. Drew can. You're walking here. He gets on first, take off. If he steals second, the guy in the on-deck circle, Michael Young, is already VP of this classic.
3-2.
That's a good move there. Good offense, not giving in. And Dempster with the ability that he showed here long to throw it for a strike. Take a look at that split-fingered fastball. Drew looking fast. Not.
Drew is 5 for 15 lifetime off Dempster with a home run. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he's gone, and we are not. For the 11th time in All-Star history, we're going to go to extra innings. The last time it happened, Mark 2, it ended. Cave the side. Will he come back? 10th inning, 3-3. A game worthy of the final to be played, All-Star wise, at this Yankee Stadium. 3-8-1. 11th extra inning game in All-Star history with the National League, never having lost.
Wow.
9-0-1. That one was the last time, as we said, at Miller Park in 02 when they ran out of players and called the game 7-7.
That'll never happen again. I promise you.
Mariano Rivera stays on to pitch. Nate McLouth 0 for 1 in the ball game as we go to the 10th inning. McLouth flied out. And he will take that strike from Rivera. 1-1. Pittsburgh Pirate representative trying to kick it off here for the National League. The American League trying to win their 11th in a row. And 11 out of 12 if you count the tie game. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Rivera. McLouth will chop that one foul in the box, and it's 2-2.
Here you mentioned McLouth with 19 home runs. He hit his 18th homer this year against the Yankees to beat them late in the ball game, but it was not off Mariano Rivera.
Ryan Dempster, you saw, struck the side out to send it on. That one hit his foot again. Foul ball. It caught him in the batter's box. Well, he will stay in there with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Gonna have a finish here. Derek Jeter has been the chatterbox tonight, just moving up and down the railing, finding people to talk to. Josh Hamilton.
How about that? You think 2 years ago Josh Hamilton would have ever thought he'd been here talking to him?
Nope. 2-2 delivery, missed. 3-2. McLouth trying to get on. Martin, the catcher, to follow, then the top of the order. Then Miguel Tejada, who's the shortstop, batting leadoff. 3-2 delivery on the way, and fouls that one off. He got way out in front of it.
You know what? I was just waiting on that, though. How many times have we seen a guy in his first at bat against Mariano Rivera break a bat? Almost always.
Always.
I remember a World Series game here one time. Ryan Klesko for the Braves against Mariano broke 3 in the same at bat. Chipper Jones said he was hiding his.
Yeah.
As Klesko came back to get another one.
How about that conversation? The Yankee manager and the captain of the Red Sox. Girardi, former catcher. Veritek, current catcher.
There's 2 solid guys.
And got him. No argument. Rivera gets his second strikeout.
You know, I'm beginning to believe you. Mariano Rivera wants the in. Right when I said earlier they weren't giving it to the pitchers anymore.
If he wins, if they win and he's on and is the winning pitcher, he's got a real good shot at it.
You were going to give it to him after just facing one hitter, recording 2 outs.
Was the emotion of the moment. Swung on and missed by Russell Martin, the Dodger catcher. Gold Glover, Silver Slugger Award for the best offense from his position behind the plate. Martin, one at bat, flied out, takes the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 294, 10 home runs, 45 RBIs. Former Yankee manager Joe Torre, of course. Left, West Coast, Dodgers. Lo and behold, they're 1 game out of first place. Foul back. They're playing in a Western Division where nobody's got a 500 record. Arizona leads it, but they're 1 game below 500 at the All-Star break. The Dodgers are 3 games below. Yankee fans up and applauding for a strikeout for Rivera. 1-2 delivered. Fouled off. Tell you one thing, there's some All-Star games we've been at, Rick, a lot of them, where most of the tickets, because of the price, go to corporate people who will kind of sit on their hands and watch and have a drink and something to eat and leave. Not here. I mean, these are Yankee fans who are out watching this ball game, and they've made it clear they are. Fouled off.
I remember Lou
more than
Piniella.
willing to boo the Red Sox and cheer the Yankees.
Oh, it's worth every bit of it. Either way it makes him happy.
You're either very brave or completely stupid when you come to Yankee Stadium with Red Sox
Or
on.
really tough.
Or you think you are.
Wait a minute, I saw your grandson with a Red Sox hat on.
He did. 1-2 delivery. That one is fouled off.
You know, you mentioned Russell Martin last year winning the Gold Glove for defense, silver bat for offense. Gary, that was in his first full year in the big leagues. Already emerging as a leader for Joe Torre and those Los Angeles Dodgers.
I think they're going to pull off a division win. I think they're going to end up on top in the West.
Well, Arizona certainly looks like they don't want it.
Yeah, they're trying to give it back. Pitch number 7 in this at-bat coming to Russell Martin. And that will miss down low in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
That's the pitch right there where Mariano has really kind of readjusted to the league kind of adjusting to him. Used to be all cutters, but now, Gary, he's not afraid at all to throw that 2-seam fastball in on right-handed hitters.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be a base hit. Sharply hit. Martin will make the big turn, falls down, but no chance to get the throw behind him. So Martin's got a 1-out single for the National League here in the 10th inning. It was an 8-pitch at-bat against Rivera. And then drove one that may have been outside, but too close to take, and he hit the ball. Now, I'll tell you one problem now is he falls down, but he got back. Now the Red Sox manager over there is sitting, counting the pitches Mariano Rivera's throwing and wondering, wait a minute, he's already up to 22. I got the Yankee skipper talking to my catcher.
Yeah.
How long can I let this go? And that is taken for a strike by Miguel Tejada.
I think Miguel took that all the way, thinking that even though it's a catcher, Russell Martin at first, this is a catcher that can steal a base for you already with 10 this year. Look at Tejada. I mean, he had no interest at all swinging at that pitch.
Hitting at 275 on the year with the Astros. The shortstop runner does go. Grounded up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. On the way to third goes Martin. So with the runner going, the ground ball base hit by Miguel Tejada easily moved him over to third base. And Tejada's played a big part of this game. He is now 2 for 2.
Take a look at Michael Young right here. I know you're a little bit shorter and closer to the bag, but look at that. That ball took almost 2 hops before he had taken his first step, Gary.
And he was moved over towards the bag.
I was really surprised he didn't get a better jump on that ball. I thought he could have at least gotten to it and knocked it down. keeping Martin from getting to third.
And now Dan Uggla stands in. 23 home runs, 59 RBIs against Rivera, first and third, one down. It is there for a strike. Miguel Tejada got the base hit in the 8th inning, stole second, and on a wild throw went to third and scored a run, an unearned run on the sac fly. And now he is singled again here in the 10th inning, putting runners at first and third. 3-3 ball game, 10th inning. Uggla up the middle, runner coming home. They got a turn two. Throw is in time to get the out.
That's why you keep the teammates together when you can. You like to have your pitcher working with his catcher. Now you've got their second baseman, Kinsler, working with their shortstop for the Rangers, Young. They get the turn. They're used to each other. They needed it. Now they need a run.
2 double plays in 2 innings, and big double plays. Play than this one.
Well, and the Texas Rangers have been playing really good baseball, and you can see one of the reasons why here. You had the runner there. You could have thrown to first, got him in a rundown, but Gary, then the runner at third would have scored. It would have counted. All of a sudden, they would have been behind. Kinsler knew he had to flip it to Young. Young knew he had to get rid of it in a hurry, and Mariano Rivera knew they made a fine play.
Great defensive play right there. So we go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. Ball game tied 3-3. From Colorado and the Rockies, this is Aaron Cook on to pitch for the National League.
First All-Star game, 11 victories for the Rockies.
Michael Young, a chopper. Uggla. That will be an error. And the potential winning run is on in the bottom of the 10th inning.
What, I might yell right now at Carlos Quentin saying, hey, can you bunt? That's what we'd like to do right now. Get that runner in the score. Try to send these fans, or most of them anyway, home happy.
Let's see how this gets played by Terry Francona.
I found another zero, though, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, underneath sacrifice hits for Carlos Quentin this year.
Go all the way down.
There's a zero.
See what he does. Quentin not bunting. Right through the legs of Uggla. On his way to third base. Wow. And Uggla is not going to want to have to live with this the way it's going. Consecutive errors on the second baseman for the Marlins on consecutive pitches.
You know, and basically just routine plays. That wasn't an in-between hop. Wasn't a tough play. There's a big hop right there. Wow. Boy, if you're Aaron Cook, you've done everything that was asked of you. He's a guy that pitches to contact. He gets a lot of ground balls.
Tough stuff. And Clint Hurdle will make his way out to manager of the National League. The American League, first and third, nobody out. You got to stop the run or the game's over. And it would be the 11th consecutive win for the American League if they can get it. The home field advantage in the World Series, will it be determined by 2 errors in the 10th inning of the All-Star game?
You know, Gary, we've talked about Terry Francona being 8-0 in World Series play as a manager. With a victory here tonight, he would be 2-0 as a manager in the All-Star game. And the one thing he did, he told me, he said, I hated the part where I had to pick a few players. But the one thing he did was take Carlos Guillen from the Tigers because of his versatility. He can play anywhere on the infield. He could play the outfield, and he can swing the bat in RBI situations like this.
Terry Francona now, they're going to intentionally walk Carlos Guillen to load the bases so you can get the force play anywhere. And try for 2. You got a ground ball pitcher at the top in that department in the league. So Cook's got a chance to do it. And they'll try and keep this thing going by getting the plays, starting a double play at the plate. That is ball 3. And there's ball 4. So 2 errors and an intentional pass here in the 10th have loaded the bases for the American League. Ugla with the 2 E's. And Cleveland's Grady Sizemore will try and make a winner on Mariano Rivera as the pitcher. Now the infield has got to cheat in, and right now they're cheating way in, and the outfield has to come way in. They've got to be able to make a play at the plate on a fly ball, because it doesn't matter if you don't stop that runner at third from scoring.
You know they're cheating in, but I got a feeling the guy at second base is on his hands and knees hoping that they don't hit it to him again. Wow, I feel sorry for him.
Here is Grady Sizemore, league's leading home run hitter. Infield drawn in. Down low for a ball. In the dirt. Good stop made by Martin, Russell Martin. Sizemore has had a single and has struck out. He has scored a run. 2 grand slams in his career.
Yeah, he's pretty comfortable in this spot.
Cook out of Colorado. The delivery on the way and a ground ball to first base. That is a foul ball. Home plate umpire makes the call. They would have had the out at the plate if needed.
And it was a great call again by Darryl Cousins tonight. The reason the home plate umpire makes that call is because it does not get to the bag at first base. Had it gotten there, Ed Rapawano would have had the call as to whether it was fair or foul.
Michael Young, the potential winning run, is at third base. Cook trying to get these ground balls, get the double play, at least the one at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Grady Sizemore waiting. Sizemore to second. Wouldn't you know it? There's 1 relay. They do not get 2, and what a pick at first base made by Adrian Gonzalez. Ugla, unbelievable. Ball was hit to him.
Yeah, but did you see him pound it in his glove 2 or 3 times before he got rid of it? If he gets rid of it right away, watch this. There's a ground ball hit. Catch it. Now throw it. Throw it. No, you can't take a crow hop towards home to make that throw and still get a double play. Look at this right here. There it is. You got to get rid of it now. Get rid of it. No, it's almost like he was going to run it to home. That should have been a double play. Ugla again struggling.
That's 2 errors preying on his mind. That's what that is. Bases remain loaded. 1 down. Pitch is going to be inside. Evan Longoria, who's already had an impact in this ball game, as Longoria got the RBI double in the 8th inning. He's had 3 for 12 with the bases loaded. 3-3 game. Bottom of the 10th. American League trying to win it. Young, Michael Young at third. 1-0 pitch. Grounded towards third. Another play at the plate. Guzman 1. Nowhere else. They get the out. And boy, a slide right there that caught Martin in the back of the leg as Young tried to score. There are 2 down.
This is some kind of pitching performance here by Aaron Cook. Some people might have questioned why Clint Hurdle picked his own guy. You're seeing now. He's seen him in action before. There really wasn't any reason for that. Clinton playing hard, though. I mean, there's nothing dirty about it. You try to take the catcher out to keep him from making the throw, but
Cook has had 4 ground balls this inning. Now everybody can back up. Bases remain loaded. 2 down. 3-3. Justin Morneau. Morneau will take it for a strike. You're asking Cook, the pitcher, to overcome 2 errors that put the first 2 on. He had to then give an intentional pass to the all-star team of the American League and try and get out of a bases loaded, nobody out, 10th inning. He's 1 out away from doing it. Morneau's 1 hit away from winning it. Morneau a chopper. Long run. Miguel Tejada was very deep. Running throw. Oh, what a play. He got it. Miguel Tejada with a fantastic play at short. And this game is going to go on at 3-3 as incredibly the American League cannot score with the bases loaded and nobody out. Tejada do or die keep it going or lose. And there's no happier man than Dan Ugla, who is playing at second base, who's going to go back in and go, oh, my. 3-3. Sure situation as you'll ever see. This ball game is tied at 3-3, and we move on. And the National League still has a chance. Look how deep he was at short.
Well, you just mentioned that the infield could back up again. I kind of thought that Guzman at third would come get it, but he holds up. Tejada coming up with it, off balance. The perfect throw, the stretch by Gonzalez, and the National League is still alive.
And Tejada's in the running for the MVP. Watch Cook, the pitcher.
Please, please, please. Whoa, yeah. What a job he did.
Soria has come on to do the pitching. And Adrian Gonzalez, who made a fine play at first base in that last half inning. Joakim Soria, fifth in saves with 25 and third in ERA with a 1.47.
Well, you take a look at that, 25 saves. Kansas City's only won 43 games this year.
And that's going to be a base hit into left field. Gonzalez gets a leadoff single, and the National League here in the 11th will try and get one.
You know, he's making a little bit of a run here at your MVP award for Mariano Rivera. He's already driven in a run. Now he's got a base hit. And Gary, you mentioned it. He made a fine play on the throw that could have gotten away and ended the game.
He's on at first base. Adrian Gonzalez we're talking about. Here is David Wright, New York Mets third baseman. Leadoff man on the last 3 innings. Yet we remain tied at 3-3.
Gary, you've mentioned all the stolen bases tonight. You're not going to see one here.
I agree.
You will not even see an attempt.
Not even a lead.
No.
Right through Soria's fastball, and quickly a 2-strike count. Right-hander from Kansas City. First opportunity for Soria. The 0-2 took something off that pitch and missed inside with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He got the big curveball. Soria is a guy who was a Rule 5 guy from the San Diego Padres for Kansas City. The Royals have thought a lot about converting him into the starting rotation, a lot like what happened with the Cubs and Dempster.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery with a runner at first base. Got him to go after that one. Boy, that was up there, and Wright tried to catch it. 1 down.
You see a lot of swings like this when you see a lot of guys facing guys they've never seen before. Clearly up and out of the strike zone. That is the 13th strikeout by an American League pitcher tonight. Well, we've seen some really, really good pitching. But I don't think any better than what we saw from Aaron Cook.
Nope. Christian Guzman. It's 12-10 in New York. Runner at first base. The delivery is taken for a strike. I always wanted to be one of those guys walking around lighting the oil lamps and hollering out the time. And all is well, we may add. Soria's delivery, and that is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Guzman falls behind in a hurry. 2-0. Or 0-2, rather. Christian Guzman for the Nationals.
He's having quite a year.
7th best average. Takes that one to right center field. Sizemore's over. Runner halfway. And there are 2 down here in the 11th inning. Trying to get these leadoff men around has become a very real problem for the National League. Gonzalez still on at first base. Not a lot of people left to pitch here. Kazmir they do not want to have to use.
So what does that tell you? You got 1 left-hander left.
Yeah. George Sherrill, the closer for Baltimore. 2 down, 1-0 count. Corey Hart. This is the player, the last member of the roster voted on by fans on the internet, and that final player to be added.
That was really surprising for me. I mean, I thought David Wright was a lock to be voted in. You got to give the Milwaukee Brewer fans a lot of credit for getting their guy.
Corey Hart swings and misses on that one, and a 2-0 count. He picked up a lot of votes. He's had an outstanding season.
You know, in just 26 years of age, and getting that opportunity to play every day.
Hart swings and misses. Boy, that's some nasty stuff right there from Soria on a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
It's a good hard slider here. We've seen the big curveball that got David Wright. That's just a little tighter, flatter breaking ball. And he can really paint with that fastball.
2-2 delivery. Hart double clutch, pops it up right field, not deep. J.D. Drew is going to end up playing 9 innings the way this is going, even though he didn't start. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Bottom of the 11th inning coming up. And our 79th All-Star game is tied at 3-3. The C-League wondering, oh my gosh, Milwaukee, a tie game. We ran out of players. On the left, George Will. Have I got a book here? Behind him, Billy Crystal. This is going to be funny. Pitch is taken up high for a ball. Ian Kinsler leading it off. 337. League's leading hitter. American League 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. Kinsler to center field. McCluth coming, not going to get it. Another leadoff man on. Kinsler 1 for 3, leading off the 11th inning with a base hit.
Looks like we're starting to manage a little bit here. Terry Francona coming out of the dugout to talk to Navarro. You got a feeling that he asked him, can you get down a bunt? We'll find out right now what Tampa's catcher told the skipper.
Got a couple of sacrifices, so he can bunt.
Tell you what, the thing I like, though, I mean, you've got great speed at first base.
Aaron Cook working in his 2nd inning after working out of that 10th inning. He does show bunt, takes it away for a ball. Christian Guzman moves in at 3rd base. And the infielders talking to one another, making sure they know who's got what covered here. Whether or not Adrian Gonzalez will charge from first base on a bunt or not. 1-0 count, nobody out. Be very tough for Ugla to get over. Ugla's squeezing the middle here over towards second base, the second baseman.
Well, you know, we've seen him struggle, Gary, defensively. And don't forget, Guzman down at 3rd. That's not his natural position.
Yeah. 1-0 count. Runner not going, charging from first and swinging away and fouling it back was Navarro. So the bunt taken off and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Tough ball game. I mean, this has been a tough ball game. The National League pitchers have had to work with runners on base throughout the game. The American League's not getting the big hits in Terry Francona's ball club.
Well, a lot of times that means that the National League pitchers are making the big pitch, Gary.
They have, consistently. And the National League's been able to take advantage of an error, get an unearned run in the 8th inning. Matt Holliday had a home run in the 5th inning. RBI sac fly. Berkman got back in the 6th. For the National League, and then that unearned run that came in the 8th inning on another sac fly. Runner goes, pitch out. Tejada got him. Oh, mercy. Man, oh man, you can get them on, but you can't get them moved around.
I don't know if they've got a steal sign. I don't know if they got a pitch out sign. I think these are just guys that know how to play the game, and I think Russell Martin put that sign on himself. Very
close. but they gave Tejada the Olay out, and after the American League had gone 5 for 5 in stolen bases, this their 6th chance, which maybe was a stolen base, goes as a caught steal. Navarro 3-2. Cook is going to have a lot of good stories to tell no matter what happens the rest of the way in his performance. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he walked it. Magnificent job that he had in the first inning, in the last inning rather, to get out of the bases loaded, nobody out without giving up a run. Now Navarro on at first base. Take a look at that tag again.
There's the pitch out. Here's the throw. Oh, look at this. This is a great shot, guys.
Maybe. Did he hit the top of his foot? Ground ball, second base. Base hit. Navarro will stop at second base. J.D. Drew delivers a single. He's had a home run and a single in 3 times up. He come into the 7th inning. Manager Clint Hurdle's got his own pitcher out there on the mound, and Aaron Cook from Colorado working in his 2nd inning. And at this point of the ball game, you really can't afford to be making many changes as far as the pitchers are concerned, because there aren't many left.
Remember this a couple of years ago? Trevor Hoffman on the mound, Michael Young at home plate. That
chance again.
Won him the MVP of that All-Star game.
Michael Young, 2 on, 1 down. Infield double play depth, strike taken.
They score a run right here, Gary. My MVP is J.D. Drew.
He got the big hit to move him around to give him a chance.
How about that? The Futures game here 2 days ago. Who won the MVP of that? The Boston Red Sox.
Lynn, outfielder, who hit a home run.
They win the All-Star game with a base hit right here.
At Yankee Stadium.
All of the MVP. I felt so sorry for the kid. I mean, he's an outfielder. He's an A-ball. His biggest thrill of his life, the MVP. And he gets booed because he plays for the Red Sox.
At the Futures game. You imagine that? Yes, you can. With this rivalry. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 1 down. Michael Young waiting on it. Young, check swing. It's outside. Ichiro won the MVP last year. Michael Young the year before.
Tejada.
Miguel Tejada the year before that. Alfonso Soriano, who made the team but couldn't play because of an injury the year before that. Derek Jeter's won 1 previously. He's here, of course, out of the ballgame. 6
of the last 7 MVPs were here tonight, along with Cal Ripken.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Up the middle. Base hit. Is it a game winner? Here comes Navarro. He is slow. Play at the plate, and he is out. Unbelievable. Nate McCluth in center field. A 1-hop throw to Russell Martin. This game goes on.
Well, it helps that you've got a catcher running. Let's start there. But take a look at this throw. As good as you can get. Now take a look at the catch. You got to remember, the catcher's mitt's not that big first base glove. But look at Martin blocking the plate. Comes up with it, keeps the glove there with the ball in front of the slide by Navarro, and keeps this game going.
Wow. A close throw. You can't do it any better than that. And a fine short hop catch made by Martin. 2nd and 3rd. There are now 2 down. Here is Carlos Quentin. Outside for a ball.
There it is. You got to go. You've got to go. How about the inning for Russell Martin? The first out, he gunned down on a stolen base attempt at second, and the second one, he tags out at home plate.
Amazing. 1-0 count. Carlos Quentin, chance to win it. J.D. Drew's the lead runner at third base.
Who's at third, you said?
J.D. Drew. That's a great throw, isn't it? Had that blocked and got it. All 4 batters in this inning have reached base. No run is scored, and there are 2 down. How about that? Quentin, 2-0 delivery to him. Ground ball, cut off at third base. Got a tough throw, and they got it. Oh.
This is great stuff.
Holy
this
cow,
is really
Harry,
good.
you would have loved this one. 3-11-3 for the National League. 3-11-1 for the American League. Magnificent defensive plays. 3-3. It'll take forever to write about and forever to go back and analyze because so much has happened. Ryan Ludwig will lead it off here from the Cardinals. Soria will stay out on the mound to work. He gave up a base hit in the 11th inning. Joakim Soria, closer for Kansas City. That'll be foul back as we go to the 12th inning. The beauty of this game is how well played it has been. Just some defensive plays, the likes of which you long to see. Longest extra inning game was 1967. 15-inning game, Anaheim. National League won it 2-1. 1-1 delivery. That is taken down low, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. We have tied the 6th longest game in history. First game to at least 12 since '87. We are in the 12th inning right now. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Quality of the pitching exemplified by the fact getting leadoff batters on doesn't matter very much. See if it matters here. Leadoff walk, 12th inning. Talked about the defense, Rick. We have seen sensational glove work.
You know, a lot of times it's not what you look for in an all-star game. You look for the big hit, the homer, but look at Tejada here. Laying it all on the line, knowing the game's over without that play. Nobody happier than Dan Uggla. And then take a look here. Michael Young driving in what looked to be the winning run again, but wait a minute. The throw right on the money, the tag, the call.
And a bunt. And the flip, and not in time.
Look at this.
Nate McLeod not only gets the bunt down and gets the runner over, he gets a hit.
We all know there are a lot of times where a team gets an all-star just because you have to name one. That's not the case with Nate McLeod. This kid has earned his way on this team, and he's a big part of the reason why they've still got a chance to win it.
Watch this bunt. He knew what he was doing.
Now look at his speed.
It's the guy that we just watched throwing out Navarro at the plate. Now he gets the potential go-ahead run to second base, and he's on, and there's nobody out.
Looks like another bunt here.
In at third base. Guillen expecting it. Russell Martin squares to first. That is a fair ball. A sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That ball was clearly heading foul. Justin Morneau deciding to pick it up and take the out. I don't know if that's the play. He committed himself right off the bat. Look at that ball spinning towards foul territory.
The second sacrifice bunt of his career comes in an all-star game. Russell Martin now going to have to give the intentional pass to Miguel Tejada, and the American League is going to have to do what the National League had to do earlier. Create a force play at the plate, even though the American League obviously is going to get their last wraps. They do not want Tejada hitting here with runners on at second and third, and they do want to give their defense every opportunity. And I'm telling you, the theater of baseball never ends. Uggla, who committed 2 errors.
How about that?
And hitched himself on a throw to the plate in what should have been a double play, and they only got 1. They still get out of the inning. Who comes up with the bases loaded? Uggla.
Well, this is what got him to the big leagues. Not playing defense. This is something that he normally is really good at.
My former broadcast partner Bob Murphy with the New York Mets, a member of the Hall of Fame on the broadcast side, used to say baseball is a game of redeeming features, and this is exactly what he used to talk about. Uggla is up. The infield will play for two. First and third will come home. Second and short will actually go for the double play, second to first. One away. Uggla hit into a double play in the 10th inning. He has also struck out. He had runners on at first and third in the 10th when he hit into that ground ball double play. Uggla will take it on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Joaquin Soria and Uggla doing battle here in the 12th inning. And he went around. It hasn't gotten any better for him. Anything to get a run in instead of K.
I don't even know what's wrong here. I don't know if maybe he's injured, maybe he's not feeling well. That's certainly not the play that got him selected to be in this All-Star game.
Now Terry Francona makes his way out. Bases remain loaded with two down. Soria is going to come out, and the left-hander George Sherrill, the Orioles closer, comes in. Who's from Tampa Bay is the only pitcher left for the American League, because George Sherrill of the Orioles has come on to get the matchup they want here with the bases loaded. 3-3 game, 12th inning. Sherrill, the left-hander, a great story. This is a guy who worked his way through the independent league in order to find a minor league job and then finally get picked up and make his way to the majors, and turns into the closer for the Orioles. Bases loaded. Gonzalez will take the pitch for a strike. Adrian Gonzalez has had a single, a sac fly. That RBI came in the 8th inning. Only grand slam in All-Star history came from Freddie Lynn back in '83.
I was sitting in that bullpen for the American League team.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. The irony here is that George Sherrill struggles against left-handers.
Tell you what, I love that story, Gary, you just told. I mean, the word persevere just jumps out when I see things like this happen to guys.
2-strike count, 2 down. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and he struck him out. And it only took 3 pitches. The 3 are left on with a single and a couple of walks. We keep going. And we go to the bottom half of the 12th inning. Cook stays on to pitch. Down the line, left field. That is deep, and it is off the base of the wall. Carlos Guillen. Wow. Almost ending this ball game on a walk-off homer. He just missed.
The ball looked to hit about halfway up down there in that left field corner. Ludwig running hard, trying to get there in time to make the play. Could not. I think he was ready to do that fist pump when he saw it go out, and it didn't quite get there.
It is a leadoff double. Nothing new there. Leadoff batters getting on has been the rule. Aaron Cook, 10th inning, couple of errors, bases left loaded. 11th inning.
I don't bunt here.
2 left on. Grady Sizemore, the power hitter.
And the only reason Cook would do that, not worried about Guillen stealing third, he wanted to see if Sizemore would tip his hand. I didn't see him square around as if to sacrifice bunt.
Can Cook continue to spin magic? This is the third inning of relief work for Aaron Cook. Sizemore waiting. Second base. Ugla again gets the out. But the potential winning run is moved up. A quality at bat by Sizemore. Ugla has got to be wondering what is going on. He made the play though. Now here we go again. Infield's got to move in. Outfield's got to move in. One down. Potential winning run on at third. Evan Longoria. He has stepped up. RBI double is hit into a fielder's choice. He will take that one for a strike. Not the starters, the story of this 79th All-Star game, but the guys who have come in off the bench and have risen to the occasion. Longoria waiting on it. That is going to miss up high, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Guillen on at third.
Speaking of starters, how about Longoria? He didn't even start this year at the big league level.
Waited a month. Rays brought him up. Here he is. Chance to win an All-Star game. Longoria down to third. That is a foul ball. Oh, what a play that won't count. Did you see Russell Martin scoop that ball and put the tag on? Yeah, even the Yankee captain likes that one.
Well, and I like what Guzman did here. He didn't play umpire. That ball's called fair. He's got to get rid of it. He thought it was foul. There it is right there. It wasn't going to be fair. There's the throw. Everybody's signaling foul, but you know what? Don't play umpire. Play third. Get rid of the ball. Martin took it from there. And there is some good stuff going on here.
1-ball, 2-strike count. Delivery to Longoria and Cook. Cook just ought to be the MVP if he gets out of this inning, no matter who wins the game. Unbelievable performance by this pitcher.
Can you win the MVP and still lose the game?
Why not?
I mean, a wild pitch, pass ball, another error, base hit. A lot of things can happen that would give the game to the American League, but I agree with you. Cook is just, I mean, he's gone beyond the call of duty.
The walk will be given to the left-handed hitter, Morneau. His run obviously does not matter. Guillen at third base is the only one that matters, and you're just trying to get the best matchup you can get. Morneau will be put on, and then all he's got to do is face the league's leading hitter.
Yeah, I was going to say, the guy with the most hits in baseball.
That's what probably Clint Ertl over there is smiling about. Nice decision. I have him put on a left-hander so he can face the guy who's got more hits than anyone else in the game. Ian Kinsler. Aaron. First and third, only one that matters at third base. Cook has now thrown 36 pitches. 2 down. Runner will take second. The pitch is inside for a ball. Morneau, you do that because you take away the force play. Now there is no force play on the field here to get that final out. No steal on it. Used to be called defensive indifference.
We're still looking for a hero.
Play that song. Kinsler trying to be it. Fouls it off. 1-ball, 1-strike.
You know, we're getting to the point right now where both these managers are wondering what to do.
Well, there's only one left for the American League, and that's Scott Kazmir.
He pitched on Sunday, and we were told that he was not available. Now, again, he wasn't available to pitch on Tuesday. Gary, it's Wednesday now.
Yeah, it is Wednesday, so maybe that changes everything. Kinsler's trying to make it not matter. 1-1 delivery to Kinsler. Ground ball towards third. Cut off. Guzman. Oh, my gosh. They got it done. And Aaron Cook, I'm telling you, 3 innings of magnificent pitching.
Give him something. I don't know if it's the MVP, but you got to give him something.
Give him credit, I'll tell you that. We go to the 13th, 3-3. I'm laughing, going, you wanted a final All-Star game here at Yankee Stadium? I'll give you a final All-Star game. Watch this.
You know, it's almost like Frank Sinatra, just keep coming back for encores, huh?
We go to the 13th inning. George Sherrill, the Baltimore closer, got the final out. In the last inning, he stays on here facing David Wright. Now, Sherrill only works 1 inning, rarely anything beyond that. Well, he needs to get outs here rather quickly because he does not have experience of pitching much beyond the 20 pitches that he normally would throw. That'll come inside and miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Wright, Mets third baseman. He's had 2 at-bats and has struck out both times. National League got on the board first, had a 2-0 lead in this ball game at one point, then 2-2, then they went ahead 3-2. The American League came back yet another time and got it tied up in the 8th inning. Scott Kazmir, the Rays do not want him pitching in this game. They asked that he not pitch, and there was no problem with that.
Well, you know, just
until
last
now.
year he was shut down with some tenderness.
1-2 delivery, a shattered bat, right center field. That's going to fall in, base hit. So David Wright is on with the barrel of that bat, ending up at shortstop.
Well, that's no big deal, though. And that getting the leadoff man on, that means nothing.
It's amazing. We've gone like this since the 8th inning.
I mean, they did it in the 9th, they did it in the 11th, they did it in the 12th, they've done it in the 13th.
The maple bat controversy, those bats that have broken and smears all over the place. David Wright is on, 5th straight inning. The leadoff man has been on. Guillen will move in at third base. Christian Guzman, Willie bunt.
Well, David Wright, will he steal? A lot of possibilities here for the National League.
He does square, takes it up high for a ball. Both Guillen at third and Morneau at first charging. Christian Guzman flied out in the 11th inning. 313, 5 homers and 30 RBIs. 1-0 delivery to him, squares again. He'll take that one, 1-1. You know this has been a game. We've had 3 batters now square around a bunt, and we've had a sacrifice. That just doesn't happen in all-star games anymore. One ball, 1 strike delivery. He meant it. George Sherrill looks to second. He gets him.
Boy, that's nice. I didn't know that about Sherrill. I mean, this is like an infielder. This kid's a good athlete. Going the other way, look at him come up with it. He knew right away where he was going with that. Plenty of time to keep that go-ahead run from getting into scoring position.
He is deceptively quick because he has that big body. He looks very bulky and looks like somebody who wouldn't move very well, but he does. Corey Hart. Hart flied out last time up. Sherrill will step off.
Yeah. Marmol up in case the game stays tied.
Sherrill is the 11th pitcher used by the American League in this game. Good road numbers for Hart in the long ball department.
This is where you get caught as a manager. Remember back in the 7th and 8th when he was trying to divide those 6 outs between Joe Nathan and K-Rod and Mariano?
Used up some numbers.
Yeah. Thought he was doing the right thing.
Yep. 0-2 count on Corey Hart. Joe Girardi, bench coach now with Terry Francona. 3-0. Now what do we do? 0-2 count on Hart. Guzman at first base, short lead. Sherrill went upstairs. Hart went with him. That's his second strikeout. 2 down in the 13th.
Just flat over matched right here, young Corey Hart. 6'6". Not able to climb that ladder.
Only a .220 average against Sherrill this season out of the bullpen. 43 strikeouts, 39 innings. He has had problems with walks, 24 of them. Ryan Ludwig will take the pitch up high for a ball.
I'll tell you what, Gary, to me the Orioles have been a pleasant surprise this year. I didn't expect them to be that close to 500. I know they're last in the American League East, but that's not the worst thing in the world that could happen. Just 3 games under 500, and having this guy step into that role and do the job he's done, well, we can see partly why.
Yep, he's made a big difference. Up high with it, 2-0 on Ludwig. Now this is where Ludwig would look to tee off. Figure he's got to bring one. Ludwig, 15 home runs in the year. To him up right. Sherrill nowhere close on those last 3, and the count goes to 3-0.
Ludwig, really quite a story. He's been a pleasant surprise for the Cardinals this year. Gary, he had 28 career homers coming into play this year. Comes into play tonight with 21. Years old, his first All-Star game.
Ludwig will take that one for a strike. Three ball, 1 strike count at first base. Guzman not going anywhere with 2 down here in the 13th inning. Sherrill trying to work through it here. The 3-1 delivery. Ludwig will pop that one up. Second base. Kinsler's there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base. The ball game at Yankee Stadium may be going on when the season starts up again later this week. Tied at 3. And we welcome you back to Yankee Stadium. Don't forget, you can still cast your ballot. MLB.com for tonight's All-Star Game MVP.
What?
The voting started 5.5 hours ago, and it's still going on. It's a lot like the presidential race in the U.S. You can select tonight's All-Star MVP and be part of history at MLB.com.
What if they voted before they said goodnight to you in the 3rd inning? Can they vote again as they're waking up saying good morning in the 13th?
We close in on 1 o'clock. It's almost 6 a.m. in London. Good morning. 3-3 ball game, bottom half of the 13th. Longest game in All-Star history. Wow. This one is chopped to second base by Navarro. Ugla makes the play. We talked about how the game is one of redeeming features. You also can't hide. If you're put in a ball game playing in a position you shouldn't be in, first ball will be hit to you. If you're Dan Ugla tonight and you got the yips, every darn play is coming right at you, and you're going to come up with the bases loaded, and you're going to come up and hit it to a double play. It's the nature of the beast. J.D. Drew. One swing of the bat can end it here. Marmol of the Cubs has come on in relief. He was added because Kerry Wood, who was supposed to be on this All-Star team, could not because of injuries. Carlos Marmol, over the last couple of weeks, has been a disaster. Everything good that happened early turned right around on him.
Look at all those walks. I mean, basically that's what it has been as of late. Either a walk, an extra base hit, usually a homer, or a strikeout.
We talked about unorthodox acts on the mound that we've seen. He's got it, Rick. I mean, he falls halfway to first base half the time.
I honestly think watching him the last month, Gary, he tries to throw too hard, particularly with that fastball. He can throw more strikes with his breaking ball than he can his fastball.
3-1 delivery, he got it in. There's what you were saying.
That's a breaking ball. You almost have to look for that.
It's 1 o'clock. Do you know where you are? 3-ball, 2-strike count. We started with 55,600. Ground ball towards second base. Ugla. Unbelievable. Now that ball took a bad hop on him.
You're starting to feel sorry for the guy.
I mean,
I know.
I don't know how you're ever gonna. What do you say to him? What does he say? What do you do? Another error.
I mean, it's just as routine as it gets. There it is. I mean, you got plenty of time. He could have come in a little bit more on it. Instead, he waited. The ball did come up on him. I will give him that. But if you stay in front of it, the ball drop in front of you, you pick it up and throw him out.
He's had 6 ground balls hit at him tonight, and he's committed 3 errors. So the potential winning run is on at first base. J.D. Drew. Drew has had a homer, has struck out, has singled. He has reached on an error. First player in All-Star history to have 3 errors in 1 game, Dan Ugla. Marmol's pitch will be fouled back. Michael Young up. Young has had a single, reached on an error, and struck out.
I mean, 3 errors tonight. On the season, Ugla has only made 6.
That is a strike on the inside corner.
You know, just watching his at bat, I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, but it just seems like something's wrong. And I don't know if he's got the flu, if he's got a headache or a migraine. It just doesn't seem like this isn't the same guy. I do know that.
Michael Young inside. It is always one of the problems when you cover professional sports. Sometimes there are lots of times where you don't know things. Some of which may be personal, some of which may be physical, some of which may be mental. You have no idea. And a night like this happens and you wonder. Taken down low. Marmol is struggling with the strike zone, and the count goes to 3-2.
You're going to send him now, no question about that. Look at that guy. If not for his arm and the great throw to home, Michael Young would have had the game-winning base hit in his last at-bat.
3-ball, 2-strike count with 1 down. Runner at first base, running. Pitch is there, throw is there, and didn't get him. 1 hopper. The strike, throw him out. Martin has been in this ball game, and of course it was Ugla who took the throw, and he had to stop the ball from going into the outfield.
You knew it was going to be a breaking ball. Marmol throwing it for a strike. I mean, look at where he was at. He's like 3 feet in front of the bag. Look at that. Then he goes back to make the tag. Tell you what, Martin's got a cannon back there, boy, and he ain't afraid to show it off.
That is the 6th stolen base for the American League. It is a new record in an All-Star game for stolen bases. Carlos Quentin fouls it back, and there'll be no play. We're now talking about a ball game in which the reserves have come on and are coming to the plate for the 3rd and 4th time. The American League has had all of these chances to win this ball game and have not been able to find the big hits. 3 for 19. That's really unbelievable for an all-star group. But as Rick noted, part of that is you're also facing all-star pitching.
You know, in this Quentin has faced only one time. But in that one at bat, when you hit a homer, I take note on that.
Inside, that's a great pitch. Tied him up in the inside corner.
It's that breaking ball. Back to catch the inside corner.
Tell you one thing, Russell Martin behind the plate's got my attention. 1-2 delivery, swung on and foul back. He has played with pizzazz, gusto, smartness, and great talent in this ball game. He didn't even start. Came on for Soto about 3 hours ago. Carlos Quentin trying to get that run in. J.D. Drew, the potential winning run, second base, 2 down. 1-2 delivery. Marmol strikes him out. We have completed 13 innings of this All-Star game. The American League has now stranded 15 base runners, and we go to the 14th inning, tied at 3. We roll on, and you take a look at some unbelievable numbers. And the way this game started, you never would have thought it would end up this way. The pitchers were dominating early. George Sherrill, fly ball, deep right field. That is way back. McCluth is out. One pitch, one out.
You don't have to hit it very far if you're going in that direction. He thought he had a chance. Crowd thought he had a chance.
I thought he had a chance.
I did too.
J.D. Drew. Hang with him, baby.
You know, and that's exactly what Sherrill's trying to do right now. This is uncharted territory.
Russell Martin. 10 home runs, 45 RBIs. The Dodger catcher has had a most impressive performance. Mariano Rivera. He was in this ball game.
Weren't they talking about an hour and a half ago?
Derek Jeter's written 4 books so far tonight. My conversations watching an All-Star game. 1-0 delivery will be taken up high. 2-0. Russell Martin, a single sacrifice, and he is flied out. He got his first at bat back in the 7th inning. 2-0 delivery on the way. The only rule for the All-Star game that is different for the managers than any other, they can reinsert a catcher into the game if they have used all their catchers and the last one gets hurt. You can bring back a catcher.
You know, and Gary, you bring up a great point. Talking with both the managers before the game, both of them were adamant about not getting anyone hurt. And you start worrying right now.
Yep. 2-1 delivery on that one drilled. J.D. Drew back. Ball is not carrying to right field. That may have been off the end of the bat too, and there are 2 down.
You know what Terry Francona's thinking right now. You got Sherrill out there, who's normally a 15 to 20 pitch guy. He's a 1-inning guy, Gary. You know that better than I do. And yet now you're asking him to pitch into his 3rd inning. You've seen Clint Hurdle, what he had to do with Aaron Cook, his starting All-Star, ran him out in consecutive tough innings. Now you've got 2 guys up and throwing in the bullpen that weren't supposed to be used tonight.
Miguel Tejada. He too has had a big night, and he was going for the downs on that swing. Tejada came on to play at shortstop. He's delivered a single, stolen base, scored. Another single, 10th inning, got thrown out. And Kazmir is the only one left in the other bullpen. Brandon Webb, the only one they really want to use out there. Grounded to short. And the play made by Young as Sherrill gets it done. And we go to the bottom half of the 14th inning. We are still tied at 3-3 and running out of bodies. They did have a 14th inning stretch, the second 7th inning stretch that we've had here in the 79th All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. Not a bad idea, actually. Here is a starter, Brandon Webb, who has had 20 starts for Arizona this season, coming out of the bullpen.
A 13-game winner. And a guy that picked up a no decision on Sunday when he threw 7 innings and 108 pitches.
So Webb on. They had hoped they were not going to have to use him in the ball game for the reasons Rick just cited. Carlos Guillen inside for a ball. We're going to the bottom half of the 14th inning. There are the numbers on Brandon Webb. That'll be to short, and that'll be one down. Miguel Tejada arranging to get it. Tell you one thing, there's been no sign on any of these players, and Tejada reminds me of it, that they want to get out of here and get home. This game's being played ferociously, competitively by these guys who were supposed to be the reserves and see action later and go home. One down. Grady Sizemore fouls that one off.
Thinking right now.
Think that was a home run cut?
He's thinking the same thing that he's been able to do 23 times already this year. Go deep.
Big time cut on that one.
If you're going to go deep off of Webb, you're going to have to go down and get that sinking fastball.
That one will bounce in the dirt. Webb decided, if you want to try that, let me go a little lower and see if he'll go after that too.
That's been a big plus for him this year. I mean, the guy's been good for a while. I mean, he was the Cy Young Award winner back in 2006. That changeup has turned into a strikeout pitch for him.
Webb's delivery will miss outside. For Sizemore in the ball game, he came on in the 6th inning to get his first at bat. He has had a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. A 1 for 4 in the ball game, 23 home runs, league leader. Going for another one right there. 2 ball, 2 strike count off the fastball. Brandon Webb this season with that sinker ball pitch has surrendered only 8 home runs in 131 innings. Only 119 hits in 131 innings. 2-2 delivery by Webb. Went away and it's fouled off. Longest game time-wise in Major League history, and adding to it with every tick of the clock. Longest game inning-wise, 15 innings, game 38. July 11, 1967 in Anaheim. Swung on and missed.
There's that changeup. Yes, sir. Take a look at all of the movement. It comes through. See the rotation on it, almost like a screwball at times. Watch this. Watch how much it moves. I mean, it just bottoms out. Great difference there between the fastball velocity and the change.
Nasty stuff delivered by Webb. Longoria, 2 down, nobody on. He'll take the pitch outside for a ball. Evan Longoria, the rookie. One 1-0 pitch to him. That'll catch the outside corner. Webb, the 2006 Cy Young Award winner. That's all you got to face in the 14th inning. Longoria figured he'd come, collect some autographs, bring back a couple of balls in the bat, have a remembrance of his first All-Star game. Sorry, kid. RBI double, fielder's choice, and he has struck out. 2-1 delivery to him. 2-2.
You know, I just think about Arizona. I know they're in first place in the National League West, but they're a game under 500. And they got a guy on the mound here right now that's 9 games over. How bad are they?
Wow. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. So Webb comes on, another changeup. 2 strikeouts, retires the side in order. Since they've already reached the longest game time-wise, what the heck? Might as well go to the 15th inning. It is tied 3.
Major leaguers travel so much they can sometimes forget which city they're in. If you know the feeling, listen up. Continental flies to over 230 destinations throughout the Americas and the Caribbean, so we can take you from city to city without a problem. As for remembering which city you're in, we'll be sure to announce it on arrival. Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right.
We are back. 15th inning ties the longest inning game that occurred in '67 in Anaheim. And there are no more pitchers left for the American League. Scott Kazmir is the 12th and last pitcher available. Dan Uggla is at the plate, takes it inside for a ball. And they had hoped Kazmir would not have to be used in this game. From Tampa Bay, his second appearance in an all-star game. Dan Uggla, 1-1.
You know, and just thinking too about what's left for the National League, Brad Lidge. But thinking about that, how many times have we seen him up already tonight? I've lost track.
At least twice, if not 3 times. 1-1 delivery on the way, swung and a miss by Uggla. Dan has had a night so far, he just as soon forget. 1 contact though, and who knows? He has 2 strikeouts, hit into a double play, and's committed 3 errors at second base. 1-2 delivery to him. It continues. One away.
I mean, Kazmir's good, no question about it. But Uggla's not this bad.
Another new record set in the game. There have now been a combined 34 strikeouts. That is a new all-star record. 1 away in the 15th. Pitch is taken for a strike. Adrian Gonzalez. Darrell Cousins behind the plate. It's had a night he won't forget. Here's the 0-1 delivery.
You talk about those strikeouts, Gary. I mean, you think about the 6 combined strikeouts by the starting pitchers tonight. Sheets 3 and Cliff Lee 3. Those are the most by 2 starting pitchers since Philadelphia's Schilling and Boston's Pedro Martinez did it in the 1999 All-Star game. Wow.
I'll do a lot of rewriting of the record book on this one. 1-1 delivery to Adrian Gonzalez. Slider. Misses outside to him, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Adrian Gonzalez batting in the 3 spot. He's had an RBI and a sac fly, single, and has struck out. And a number of these hitters, and understandably so, are taking the big cuts here. I mean, they're coming up with nobody on. Chance to put their team on top, so they're trying to hit the long ball, especially the left-handers who would like to use that short porch in right field. But with the caliber of pitching they're seeing, it's very hard to catch up to it. 2-2 delivery on the way. Takes that one the other way, left field. Carlos Quentin is there to put it away. And there are 2 away here in the top half of the 15th. Gary Thorne, Rick Sutcliffe on our crew, and hope you're enjoying a record-breaking night here at this All-Star game at Yankee Stadium.
Take a look at the numbers there for Wright against left-handed pitching. How about what it took for David Wright to get here? I mean, he wasn't voted in by the fans to begin with. He wasn't picked by the players to get in. When the manager and the commissioner got together, they didn't pick him. Then they had the final vote, and he wasn't picked. And then Soriano got hurt.
Here he is. Now he hits a home run, wins the game.
Or he gets hit.
Or he gets it, yeah. Kazmir way inside on him.
You know, Kazmir, a lot of people forget, it's a former Met. Oops.
facing a current Met.
Yeah, that's good.
Right with a 2-0 count, 2 down. The other way this time. The last 8 National League batters have been retired. George Sherrill, went 2 1/3 innings, giving up only 1 hit with 2 strikeouts. Wright is going to get a free pass. That's another amazing thing. If the scorebook is right, that's only the 3rd walk that the National League has picked up in this ball game, with the entire staff having pitched for the American League. Derek Jeter's having breakfast, apparently. Derek doesn't look anywhere over there. 2 down, 1 on. Christian Guzman, National League hit leader, down to first. Morneau. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Bottom of the 15th coming. The American League with a chance to win it again if they can find a way to get 1 on the board. 3-3. The previous record, time-wise, for an all-star game, I think the aide's getting tired there, was 3 hours and 41 minutes. The new record, 4 hours, 41 minutes as of now. This is the last pitcher we think available to the National League as Brad Lidge comes on.
Yeah, when we were in the manager's office before the game, Lincecum wasn't even at the ballpark. So we're figuring this is it. We know that Kazmir is it for the American League side.
McCann has come on to do the catching from the Atlanta Braves. Here is the home derby champion, Justin Morneau. 15 home runs on the year, 68 RBIs. Brad Lidge, strikeout pitcher, 55 of them. Morneau. This isn't the home run derby. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, there's a different guy on the mound right now.
Morneau's had a double, intentional walk, grounded out a couple of times, including a great play earlier by Miguel Tejada at shortstop, who robbed him of a hit and an RBI back in the 10th inning. Here's the 1-2 delivery by Lidge. Morneau's got a base hit up the middle.
Ian Kinsler, before he walks up the home plate, taking a look into the dugout, asking Terry Francona, "You tell me, I can bunt if you want."
Kinsler didn't start the game, and he's up for the 5th time.
I think right now Tito's wishing he had Dave Roberts on his club.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember that? Game 6, down a run. Mariano on the mound. Could have been over with. Roberts steals second base. Billy Miller will base it up the middle, drives him in to tie it. And as we know, the rest is history.
The American League has set a new record with 6 stolen bases in the ball game. Morneau on at first, not going anywhere. Kinsler quickly down on the count, 0-2. Marty, how many leadoff batters in the whole game have been on for the American League? Marty Aronoff's got the only scorecard that we can read.
Yeah, I've only got 15 innings on my book.
Yeah,
I've closed
me too.
it.
I got to turn a page. The 0-2 delivery, that'll be taken up high in a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Kinsler. 3 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors for the National League. 3 by Ugla at second. 3 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for the American League. 7 leadoff batters have been on in this game. Kinsler's going to get and out. Oh, what a catch made. Ludwig of the Cardinals hesitated. He was afraid to dive, fearing the ball might go by him to the wall, and then decided, what the heck.
Boy, he got it too. Not totally committed to that, you were right. But nonetheless, he got the job done.
Ball goes by him, and you know he thought instantaneously of that. A run might score. Here's Navarro. He takes the pitch for a strike.
Tell you what, so far Lidge has not fooled anybody. Nope. Both of those balls hit right on the button. You just wonder if all of the times getting him up and down may have taken his best stuff from him.
Navarro's had a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a ground ball out. Runner on at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 1 down. This ball game has been filled with so many defensive gems. It is really amazing the great plays that have been made in this game. 1-1 delivery. That's going to be a base hit. McLuth will try and hold the runner. He does. Morneau, there's no way he was going to go to third base.
I told you an hour and a half ago to write this guy's name down as the MVP, and you didn't do it.
That was 3 at bats ago.
At least do it with a pencil.
Put it in pencil.
That guy's been swinging it all year long. That's a great thing to see. Young catcher. Yeah, you see Morneau thinking about third, but remembering a throw made earlier by Nate McLeod.
Clough got to hold the runner on that one. Now here is J.D. Drew. A home run, 2 RBIs, 7th inning, single. 1 run right here wins this ball game in the 15th inning for the American League. They would continue their streak. They have won 10 consecutive All-Star games.
2 for 4 tonight for J.D. Drew. 2 for 5 in his career against Brad Lidge.
Lidge comes in on him, down and in. Good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on J.D. Drew.
Lidge is a lot like Marmol. Lidge has got a little better control with his fastball, but both of them possessing that filthy slider.
We have actually come to the point where the Yankee fans don't care if the game winner is off a Red Sox bat.
I was thinking of Jack Buck right there, and I don't believe what I just saw.
That may be the biggest surprise of all tonight. A Yankee fan actually hoping J.D. Drew gets a base hit. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Morneau off second. Lidge the look. 2-2. 7th inning.
2 outs. Down 2-0. But with 1 swing of the bat, J.D. Drew. And that was his first swing of the bat. Tied the ball game up yesterday.
And this is his first All-Star game. Which a lot of people didn't realize, because he's had some pretty good years. 2-2 delivery on the way. In the dirt, block. Good stop by Brian McCann to hold the runner at second base.
Well, that's a terrific job right there. Look at that. That ball hit in front of home plate, high on the chest protector. Why is that big? With just 1 out, keeping that runner at second base instead of 90 feet away.
Cans revved up and ready to go. He just came in. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 1 down. Drew hitched a little bit, just trying to protect on that one. Fouled it back. Dustin Pedroia isn't talking to anybody anymore.
Run out of things to talk to the Yankee captain about. I mean, that's been the deal. We've been here so long.
Look, though, they're still there.
Oh, he had one more question.
They've been next to each other for the last 3 or 4 hours down there. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Lidge delivery in the dirt. Bases loaded. 1 down. Well, Michael Young has been here before. He has struck out, reached on an error, got thrown out at the plate on a forced play, had a single, struck out with a potential winning run at second base.
Did you write it down?
J.D.
Go ahead.
Want it?
No, you're the captain.
Oh, yeah.
You're our captain.
That's right. Michael Young waiting. That should be enough. Corey Hart's got it. Here comes the throw to the plate, and that's the ball game. The American League has won it 4-3. Justin Morneau scores the winning run on a sac fly by Michael Young in the 15th inning.
Clapping his hand. Both of those guys hoping that this win will give their team home field advantage come the latter part of October.
Gasmer gets the win. Take a look at our MasterCard priceless moment. Came a long time ago in the pregame ceremonies when the owner of the Yankees, George Steinbrenner, made an appearance. They were not sure his health would allow it. He handed out 4 baseballs to the Hall of Famers, Yogi Berra, Reggie Jackson, Goose Gossage, Whitey Ford, who would make the first pitch performance tonight with former Yankees throwing to current Yankees, our MasterCard priceless moment.
Boy, just one of the many thrills that we saw tonight out there on that baseball field. I counted 47 Hall of Famers, and that's not even counting the current players that will be in Cooperstown when their time comes.
J.D. Drew looks as though he has won the Ted Williams MVP award here. And for Yankee Stadium, the final All-Star game to be played here with this ballpark closing at the end of the year. All of base is not just the longest All-Star game time-wise and into the 15th inning, but a tremendously well-played game in so many ways tonight, especially on the defense. All right, Pepsi play of the Sutcliffe. This is how it ended.
Oh, we know what it is. Michael Young, your star gameman. You need a run. He's a pretty good guy to have a bat in his hand. Corey Hart played it perfectly. Strong throw. Just up the line a little bit. Morneau, who had led the inning off with a base hit, comes in to end this marathon. You see the hugs. You see the excitement. That's about all the energy that those guys had left.
Drew with a home run, good for 2 RBIs, a single, and a very important walk that came in the 15th inning to get Morneau moved up into scoring position at the moment.
You know, it's a great story. As long as J.D. Drew's been playing, he had never been an all-star. And coming into play tonight, he had never hit a home run in this ballpark. And when you're a member of the Boston Red Sox, that's not a good thing. Here, I think back to last year with all of the ups and downs for J.D. Drew, his first year in Boston. And, you know, I mean, honestly, most of them were downs until that grand slam homer in Game 6 of the ALCS. And now this, become another fan favorite.
Talking with him last week, said, what do you think now that you're going to the All-Star game? And he said, I haven't had time to think about it. He said, we're in a battle for first place in our division. I'm worried about winning ball games. He said, I hope I just have a moment where I can kind of stand back a minute and think, you know, after all these years, and I had some pretty good ones, never made it to the All-Star game. Well, he won't forget this one.
Well, before last year, he never made it to the World Series. But I will tell you one thing. 6 of the last 8 years, he has made it to the postseason. Boston a year ago, you go back to what he did with the Cardinals, what he did with Atlanta, what he did with the Dodgers, and, of course, the Red Sox finally getting him that World Series ring.
He will be the MVP. J.D. Drew, Terry Francona, Red Sox manager, remains undefeated in the World Series and All-Star games. That's a pretty good record, as the American League has now won 11 in a row over the National League that valiantly tried to put this thing away and just couldn't do it. And the American League We told you all the chances they had to win a lot earlier before the 15th inning because of all the base runners they had. They couldn't get the big hits, and it ends up being a sac fly. New record set, stolen bases, 6 of them for the American League tonight. You have to give Aaron Cook some credit. He worked 3 innings for the National League. He did give up 4 hits, a couple of walks, but he worked through some of the toughest innings you'll ever see in order to keep this game going in the 3 innings that he worked on the mound. Now the MVP announcement being made, and we'll go down to the field.
We're a minute 45 now.
Waiting for the announcement to be made here. There aren't going to be a whole lot of fans, and Rick mentioned this earlier. In the Futures game, it was a Red Sox outfielder who hit a home run by the name of Lynn, who won the MVP award at the Futures game, and the Yankee fans booed the young player, who, as I remember, was only 19 years old.
He's a 19-year-old kid that's playing an A-ball.
Yeah.
Gets to Yankee Stadium, and he gets crushed.
They won't be here to boo J.D. Drew because it already left. Well, there are some of the numbers that will be repeated in discussions of this game, with 453 pitches, 124 plate appearances, at 27 hits, a record-breaking 34 strikeouts in the game, and the longest game in All-Star history, 4 hours and 50 minutes.
Well, you take a look. When you have more strikeouts than hits allowed, you can tell that the name of the game tonight, it was dominated by pitching.
They paid for those seats, and they aren't leaving till it's over. Tell you one thing is that the media covering this, they gave up a long time ago. Can you imagine the writers who had deadlines? If they were lucky, it was midnight or 1 o'clock. These stories aren't going to get printed until, what is today, Wednesday? It'll be Friday before the story shows up in the paper.
I don't have a deadline. I was just worried about catching my flight this morning. It was worth every bit of it, you know.
Yeah.